Welcome to 155. I feel like I just did this.
A much more solemn intro than the one that we recorded last night.
I feel like I just did this.
Welcome to 155.
155-2.
We're all going through some stuff. Yeah. This is welcome to 260. That's what this episode is.
Is that now 260? What kind of math is that?
No, wait. Sorry. Wow. 310?
You're supposed to be the numbers guy. No wonder we're fucked.
310. Wow. Holy shit.
Oh my God.
That really explains a lot of how things have gone over the last few years of our lives. Welcome to 310, a podcast about punk songs twice. Josiah, before I introduce this week's song, do you want to introduce why we've had to change the name of the podcast for this week? Just what sort of special
is what it's called
edition?
Now.
260.
So last,
in the end, like, given that 155 was not accurate around the Blink-182 songography, it feels appropriate that we would biff the count in this podcast as well.
I don't know what happened. That's why I'm terrified. That's why we've just been doing audio stuff nonstop for the last, what feels like 3 hours, because last night I just...
Well, you also spent all last night, yeah.
I downloaded those so what happened was we recorded an intro, and then Sam's mic was being kind of fucky, so we paused, and then we hit record again. And then when
did we pause for my mic, or did we pause because you said something questionable that then I continued to bring up every 10 minutes? Whose fault was it, really?
The questionable stuff was all in there still. And I'm trying to decide if I'll say it again. But no,
I know, that's kind of what I hate. Yeah,
we paused them.
We're more risk averse now.
We paused, and then I don't know. I saved the file. I renamed the GarageBand file, I guess, from Untitled to... I don't even want to say the file names out loud in case GarageBand is listening to me.
It's all so cursed, yes.
But GarageBand seemed to write over itself, so then we did an hour of podding, and then it disappeared. So the original version of the Taking Back Sunday episode, I mean, man, I feel like I'm not going to say any of the jokes I said yesterday.
We can't, because we
lost the time.
So much of this podcast is you and I kind of surprising each other, and it is astonishing to me, genuinely astonishing, given you and I are hardly technically inept, but we are also not technically apt.
Yeah, I think we're impressive to old people, but in terms of surviving, we're barely there. I downloaded the file was fully gone. I read all the what's it called, Mac. What's the
you on Mac Rumors or
or
Mac
isn't there one called Creative
something?
Cow or something? There's some stupid.
I remember
shit
Two Cows. Remember Two Cows? TU Cows.
I hate also whenever you try to do any tech support on a thing, they're always like, before you go any further, I'm going to need you to tell me precisely the make and model and serial number and where your computer is placed on your desk and what direction it's facing on the compass. That fucking guy.
What's your rising sign of your computer?
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to have to get your computer to text its parents and find out.
Well, I even downloaded one of those things that apparently finds all the hidden deleted files on your computer. And I ran a
social insurance number.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, even they couldn't find it, and now they own my identity, and that's fine because I'm done. I'm honestly done with it. Being a middle-aged pop punk podcaster is done.
So we did what I actually think for this song, which was a high stress song for me personally, and I guess a low stress song for you, but it had the sort of general vibe of a song Josiah's never heard before kind of type episode.
Yeah, kind of aloof, dismissive. Now I've heard it again. I listened to it again before this.
No, you've talked about it for 2 hours. Did we only lose an hour? It felt like we lost 4 hours.
We only lost an hour. We are the other thing about us is that we are such gigantic babies. We lost the equivalent of probably what most people do in prep for a promo for their podcast.
Yeah. Do you still have the first part up until my mic fucked up? Do you have that?
I do, yeah. So maybe that can be exclusive.
We can release that as a Patreon only. Hear how this show was supposed to start, and then
maybe I'll just include the hour of silence after too. Maybe
give them the kind of full experience. But typically, when we finish recording, it's something of a cliche at this point, but we'll kind of hit a natural kind of point where we stop, and then I feel like I go, I think that was really good. And you're like, yeah, it was, and that did feel like a good episode. So the question is,
as you were saying that, the waveform literally just vanished. Like I hit stop and I saw the bar disappear.
And it happened again just now, and I was like, don't fuck with me, man. I'm sensitive.
I never want to do this podcast ever again. Not even this episode. Like I'm done. I'm done with all of it. It's fucking, and that's it. I would say probably we lost 45 minutes of audio, but
that's devastating. I felt like that was a long episode, but maybe I guess we talked for like 20 minutes kind of
It's because we were talking about this song that sucks.
So let's do it. You give a mournful intro. You're Josiah Hughes, and I'm Sam Sutherland. And this week, for the second time in a week, we are talking about Taking Back Sundays, cute without the E, cut from the team. Cut just like the audio for the original version of this episode was cut from our lives, cut from Josiah's computer. Josiah, yesterday, when we
never talked,
we've
already talked about this song so much, but one thing we didn't talk about, as everyone knows, we didn't talk about yesterday was the parenthetical in the song title. And what's that supposed to mean, cut from the team?
There's a lot of team imagery on this album.
That's because I think around this time, these kind of guys were all about like American Eagle Outfitters, like fake football jersey T-shirt kind of things. Fully. And so there's no I in team is also is the song right after this sequentially on the classic third wave emo album. What wave of emo? This was second wave, right? Is that what we've agreed on? We didn't talk about waves of emo. We didn't talk about emo
for a fucking minute.
I mean, we could say the other stuff too. So I still don't really like it. I think I like it a little bit more today than I did yesterday. For those who weren't here,
you've gone through an emotionally trying time.
It's true, exactly. For those of you who
you're like, I'm mad at
it's women's fault.
Women are in the computer deleting our files. The only band that speaks to our
women
rage
do be
is Taking Back Sunday.
Yeah, that's true.
Ladies be deleting your podcast.
So, I mean, I do actually want to I'm scared to even click anywhere on my computer. It's so terrifying.
Don't do it. I'll do the clicking. I'll do the clicking this week. But I think
I do want to revisit I think the main thing that we talked about yesterday that I think is the most important is understanding who I was when it was 2002 when this came out and why I was so dismissive of it.
Vital context.
Because everything about this I should like in terms of it's pop punk. It sounds like the VeggieTales. It has like really annoying nasal vocals. But I think
lots of them.
The thing I was hammering home yesterday as well, and I'm going to keep saying that to annoy everyone. I think also because people in their mind think that they get to hear every conversation we've ever had with each other. And it is most of it, honestly.
It's honestly like people have probably heard 80% of the conversations that you and I have had
exactly.
with each other.
It's almost
maybe
there.
More.
So knowing that there's one that was lost is kind of like, it's kind of beautiful in a way.
It's just slipped in between the floorboards. It was just a 1 in a million shot out of the SD card of your computer.
Exactly. But
SD slot.
I guess the other thing I was trying to hammer home yesterday was like, whenever I've watched movies like Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist or any other kind of like movie about people who are into bands, I've always thought that it all seemed like really fake and like fictional and it didn't seem real. And so to me, Taking Back Sunday is such a fake, the CWS TV band name that I refuse to believe it's real. And then what's the other song on this album called? Like Werewolves in London or something, or like
Man. Don't bring Warren Zevon into this, but it's Timberwolves at New Jersey. I think really
even worse.
Super angry.
Like what the fuck is that? Or are they talking about a sports team? Maybe it makes sense.
Yeah, they're doing a sports ball.
Oh, okay. I just thought they were being like doing some zombie walk type shit with it,
but it is like a little questionable because like it would be. Like you'd say Minnesota at New Jersey or like, Timberwolves at Nets. Like there's only now in the second version of this conversation am I thinking about how that's not a very great.
Well, obviously they're just trying to be annoying with the titles. And also the other thing
I'm trying to annoy you.
I've had the singer of Taking Back Sunday's face emblazoned on my screen with the wiki open since last night when the traumatic events unfolded. And he looks so much like the dad from Gossip Girl, who I hate. The original Gossip Girl. That dad.
Gossip Girl original dad.
He looks so much like that guy.
What?
Look at his
Waldorf?
Look at his no, not Blair Waldorf's dad. I'm talking about.
I don't fucking know. I have not seen.
You never seen Gossip Girl?
I've never seen a Gossip Girl. No.
You've never done a Gossip Ball?
No, I don't know. I don't know what any of those things mean.
No, it's Dan Humphrey's dad. It's whoever's Humphrey's dad. I'm not going to be able to find it right now because I don't want to click anywhere on my computer. And now, did you hear that sound? What was that now? Some sort
of coming in and out of the stream.
We are.
You have the covers open, and I was trying to get back into the chat between the two of us, and I honestly don't know how to do it. So if you have anything you need to say to me during this episode, you're just going to have to say it on pod. There are no secrets, in this episode at this point.
Such a disaster.
I don't think it was going to happen if you and I ran a podcast that had a rundown, and we were like, all right, well, we just got to we're going to get to reading my old reviews of this album. We're going to get to unearthing some old tweets. But these are all things that you and I have been through before. And I feel like we owe people the respect of not pretending that.
It's true.
Right now, I'm looking at you accessing your Gmail right now.
I'm trying to talk to you.
To me, this is extremely. I'm watching you chat to me through your computer.
I just tried to pop it out and that didn't
work.
It didn't work at all.
It's fine.
We're so fucked.
Listen, I fucking loved this band. That is not a surprise to anyone. You hadn't heard this band, which is maybe also not a surprise to anyone. But you did share with me last night your top 10 from 2002 when this record came out. Which,
and
without being able to find my own, I know looks very different than what I would have chosen.
Yeah. Okay. You can't find it. I'll find it right now. Maybe it's in history. You can watch me browse my history of my computer.
Maybe here. Okay, I found your top 10 list.
Okay. The top 10 reasons. Can you paste it in here?
Yeah, I can paste it in there.
There's going to probably be some Discord sounds.
I pasted it in GChat for you.
Oh, fuck. Okay, perfect.
This is perfect. Disastrous.
Yeah, so, okay, my top 10 was of 2002 because, I should have liked this probably because I was, a whiny piece of shit.
I don't know because based on this, unless you were fully fronting with this top 10, and this is, the top 10 that you posted – for public consumption, and then on your side you were listening to Thursday and Dashboard this feels very other piece with the things that I was listening to, and your list I loved Godspeed, but I came to Godspeed a little late. First
so
Godspeed
this is
album was Lift Your Skinny Fist, so full Poser hours. Right?
Well, that's actually the before this one. This was the one that people liked less.
I'm fucking cool.
Yeah, I mean it's still kind of the Poser one.
Everyone agrees. I'm the cool one.
Liking Yankee UXO was kind of more of a flex because no one liked that one because it didn't have any field recordings. But my top 10 of 2002 is
Coney Island, baby.
Lightning Bolt live in Seattle. Fuck you, Caleb. It was Lightning Bolt at Oops the Tour playing at Graceland with The Locust, The Blood Brothers, and Erebon Radar, and The Get Hustle. I mean, that was just a who's who.
That's a fucking show.
Of white belt shit.
I talked about The Blood Brothers playing that show last night.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I mentioned it. You probably weren't listening. You probably sending me a virus.
I was trying to erase the pod forever. Did Lightning Bolt headline that show over?
No, I think the Locust might have headlined, but Lightning Bolt set up in the crowd, which was the most mind-blowingly epic thing ever. Fuck you, Caleb. And then second was Do You Make Say Think and Yet. Third was Godspeed You Black Emperor, Yankee UXO. Number 4. This is kind of an early example of irony becoming real life, was My Love and being there from the beginning for the band 3 Inches of Blood, who definitely started off as tongue-in-cheek Iron Maiden worship before becoming the go-to real-life Iron Maiden worship and then whatever.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they got pretty bacony pretty quickly, but at the time,
it's very like orc infused. Like it's definitely I would say 3 Inches of Blood, who fucking rock, are a cut above pirate metal in terms of like novelty, operatic, epic shredding, but definitely several tiers below like bands that are probably like cool to like. I think they're sick, but I feel like I know that my taste in metal is basic. I did see Guar on Monday though,
and that's you trying to say that it's not basic. And also, but no, maybe
that's my point. Is
maybe
like
if we had,
I'm excited to see Guar.
We had to bump recording from Monday so that you could go to Guar, and that's why we had to. There's no room for error in our schedule. If we miss 45 minutes of recording, we both act like we need to like. We can't go on.
I gotta take a break. Like we gotta take a break from the podcast.
Like, we both had like veins popping in our foreheads, as if we can't create another 45 minutes of babbling about music.
Listen, I think we're just so committed to the gritty realism. You know, it's that's all. Like I recognize that it's an easy. Relatively, like in the end, I was like, well, it's just like the length of like, it's like when you get invited to a meeting that ends up being stupid and you kind of just like waste your time. You're like, that's all it was. It was like a wasted meeting.
Right. But as opposed to the valuable meetings we normally have. No, but you're right. Like you can only have your first time once. And this was my first time with Talking Back Sunday. Witness Protection Program, Boom Jam and Bam Jam were on there. Fun 100. The songs on the Fun 100, the hand split, which I had listed as a 7-inch, so it definitely wasn't out yet because that was a feigned CD, not a 7-inch.
But you called it a 7-inch even though it was a CD.
Well, because we hadn't, like, I think the goal was to make a 7-inch, and then we were like, oh, that will cost like $3 million.
Okay, realizing that you put that split on as a 7-inch and not as a CD does make me think that you probably would have liked Taking Back Sunday, because now I'm seeing this all through a very different light.
Like you and I are the same age at this time. Manipulator.
Yeah, like what is this? This would be like, I guess, end of 2002 is like halfway through grade 11, I think, for us. And so I get that you do like these bands, but I also feel like you're posing hard here.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, and this is from a message board too. So that's, I mean, I was definitely posing. The No Twist, Neon Golden, Julie Doiron, Hard and Crime, like the most pretentious ASMR Julie Doiron record. Highly recommend it. The other thing is
the wooden. The Julie Doiron stuff that I like is like Wooden Stars, because you're just like, it's like Julie Doiron, but it's accessible for me.
Or like when she did something with like those rockin' guys. Didn't she
do something with
like
Cancer Bats? Yeah. Julie Doiron and the Wrong Guys. Fucking rocks.
Get out of here with that shit. Give me some mumblecore, Julie.
I like rockin' Julie.
Having said that, the fucking Champs were on my list, and then Hayden, Skyscraper National Park. So since
even Hayden doesn't like Skyscraper National Park.
That's the best one. Are you insane? That's clearly the best one. You like the Yardling?
I like the one that everybody fucking likes.
The one that Jerry Seinfeld likes? Bro, you gotta put on Skyscraper National Park. That's the shit. And it has a hidden track before the album starts. If you rewind track 1, I feel like my Canadian accent is coming out while it's revealed. So
Skyscraper, you gotta rewind Secret Hated tracks.
In 2002, I really fucking loved CanCon, and I also seem to love semi-ironic metal, and I also loved like white belt noise shit and post rock. Now thinking about this even last night when I realized I have to do this again, I think what I'm saying is it was all similar kind of like pretty tight black hoodie, jelly bracelet, and the office gym haircut kind of culture. So that's where I think it crosses over. And when I first heard Taking Back Sunday yesterday, I thought it sounded like Dave Matthews Band Crash at first. And then I thought it sounded really annoying. But then I thought it sounded like the bands Choke and Monine and like Small Man Records, like Canadian emo of this time.
Yeah, Guy Smiley.
Which I did like. I did like that shit, but I guess maybe I just liked going to see it because I remember like people jumping off of Kenny from Monine jumping off of really high amps, but I also remember being very offended by the Circa skate shoes banner above the stage. That's not cool. But I don't know. I think It's just there's something about Taking Back Sunday, and I think it was also because in the group of friends and acquaintances that I knew, there was a couple people who were really into like Taking Back Sunday and Dashboard Confessional, and I definitely thought it was way cooler and better than them. So, I mean, that it's only been in my late 30s that I'm finally able to cross that threshold. But back then, there was no chance in hell I was going to listen to something like that if someone I was indifferent toward or didn't like was into it.
But do you honestly think, in your current enlightened state, as someone who loved Dashboard and Taking Back Sunday, in this moment, this year of like sort of high school emo explosion, do you really think like maybe Sam has a point? Like in retrospect, you're like, I wish I had listened to that. Or do you still feel confident in your choices? Like, do you feel like you missed out, I guess?
When I heard when I've listened to Saves the Day or Get Up Kids, which I missed both of those because I was like anti-Vagrant Records at the time, because for the same reason I think I thought it was
very strong belief.
I feel like I thought it was.
Crazy thing is, like, those bands are good. Like those are. I would not try to force Taking Back Sunday on you, but I'm like, the Get Up Kids are kind of just like babies for Superchunk. And Saves the Day. I
think when I was younger, whenever I had any inkling that someone was playing music to meet girls and not playing music to like be a nerd and shred really hard, I immediately didn't like it. And I think the people who were into that stuff, I always thought was like, oh, you're fucking ladies, man. Get out of here. I'm here to like touch my balls with my friends in the van or whatever. Like I was just wanting to do like balls things all the time.
Right. And you feel like some of the balls things and the Get Up Kids or Taking Back Sunday were mutually exclusive.
Exactly. I found a much better way to say what I said yesterday about
you did. You actually, yeah. This is, you know what, it's for the best that we had to re-record. I think this is.
However, now that I've heard this song a couple times, I do kind of like the chorus. I mean, it's really annoying. I want to punch everyone in the face, but it's good. It's pretty good. I will admit it's pretty good.
Did you listen to it again? Because, you know, we talked this, but our process is kind of like we both listen to it right before we start recording. Did you listen to it again, or do you feel like you had had enough after yesterday?
No, I did listen to it again today because I couldn't remember it at all yesterday. And then I listened to it, and then we spent about 30 minutes trying to figure out your sound situation so you can record a backup.
A third backup. We were going for the triple crown of sort of backups.
I am kind of impressed. Again. Yeah, I am kind of impressed that I can remember the. Actually, you know what? I think the last...
This is a great hook that you love.
The last DBS EP, which is my favorite DBS because I was too old for like the child skate punk DBS, kind of reminds me of that, actually. Jesse Gander's like delivery and the... I don't know, although DBS had the added like extreme Andy Dixon noodling. So, but I actually can hear some of that DBS EP in here. It's all making sense. And I really do think that it's nice that these weird delineations that either I created or just like seeing what record label something was on or all these things, like it's great that people don't really think like that anymore. Cause it is, I don't know.
No more Josiahs.
Yeah. But
that's,
I guess so. I'm the last one.
That's it. You're the last of a dying breed of people with taste who want to just touch balls.
Exactly.
Or do ball stuff.
Balls, dude. Okay, when like 3 Inches of Blood, when that album came out, I remember
big time ball stuff band.
I remember driving downtown Vancouver to the Cheap Thrills, which was like a lifestyle store. Like basically, it was just like Nardwuar punk pants and leather everywhere. And I think it was I could be wrong, but I feel like it was this guy Jesse, who is now I can't remember the name of his band, but he's on Italians Do It Better now. And I think it was him of oh God, I'm drawing a blank. But anyways, he's like a weird punk guy. I feel like he was working, and I was like a teen that drove all the way into Vancouver from Abbotsford to buy the 3 Inches of Blood CD that Ryan from WPP had helped put out. And my friends and I were obsessed. I think I've talked about this before, but this thing I learned at Bible camp was like putting Gold Bond on your nuts. and then standing in a circle and like laughing about how tingly. I think actually the first time I did it, we all put Gold Bond on our nuts and said a prayer at camp, and then that became like the ritual when the Hand In from 100 play shows. We would bond, and there's like photos of us. There's like Gold Bond on our amps at the show, and then the 3 Inches of Blood album has a song called Balls of Ice, and like I was just like, my entire life has been leading to this very moment driving home. But like, I don't know, I feel like they were kind of like, I'm sure that bands on Victory liked 3 Inches of Blood. The other thing we talked about yesterday is I think Buddy Head probably turned me against Taking Back Sunday.
Yeah,
definitely Victory
you were reading
Records.
Buddy Head, and I was reading like Exclaim. You know, at this point, I was just like, whatever. Stuart Green, who was like kind of the only guy who would review those bands at that time. Like I took his opinion very seriously. He is now a spokesperson for the TTC.
How many Canadian music writers were named Stuart back then? Hey, and now they're mostly Josh.
Still, I mean, there a lot of them are holding on. Like but yeah, you're right. The Stuarts are being replaced by the Joshes. It's a changing of the white guy.
I was going to ask you who was like into like the kind of normie pop punk at Exclaim before you were, because I feel like you were the guy who was like, what was the punk thing called? Like No Rules or something.
Future. No Future. Way punker than No Rules. It was called No Future. Yeah, the normie pop punk guy at Exclaim was Stuart Green, and I feel like we've talked about this, but like when I like in high school, I used to have Exclaim CD reviews like up in my locker. Like that was sort of part of. Yeah, and I had reviews written by Cam Lindsay up there. I remember having his Strider review, a bunch of Stewart reviews. So it was like very exciting to me when I finally met Stewart, because he was like, I don't know, he probably is 10 years older than me, but it had been like very instrumental in shaping my taste. Because the first Exclaim that I got was with Great on the cover. I'm sure we talked about this in the Great episode. But he was like slightly, like he probably thought Taking Back Sunday was like extremely stupid and for children. Because I think if you were any older than us and into this band in 2002, like I would question your motivations, you know?
Right.
Like, because there is no shortage of fucking creeps in this scene.
Including like the guy from Brand New was in this band, right?
Yeah, the guy from Brand New was in the band. There's like a song that's about, and we're going to talk about this in the exclusive that I think has now been pushed to next week, because you and I,
we need a mental health break from our last 45 minutes.
So we are going to be getting into
the lore,
the beef between Taking Back Sunday and noted creep Jesse Lacey from Brand New, ex Taking Back Sunday. So there'll be plenty of opportunities to do it, but I feel like he probably thought this band was shit, but this was like, to me, the most like vital music imaginable. Like this and Dashboard, you know, and I said this to you yesterday, and I discovered that you've always kind of been the same guy, because I had a 12 CD sort of like little binder that would go in my backpack every day, and I'd swap out the CDs. But Taking Back Sunday's Tell Your Friends was like permanent spot in the front. Like the CD never fucking left this CD wallet for like the better part of probably 2 years. And I was asking you sort of like, what was your CD wallets? Because to me, that's like a very universal thing for people our age. And you were like, I don't know, man. I was sort of like, listen to music through the walls. Like I sort of like,
I had like 2 CDs in my backpack, usually like falling out of the case. And then I had like a really shitty, cheap Discman that whenever I switched CDs, it like wouldn't read the tracks properly. So I had to reset it with a pen with the button underneath. But then I was thinking, last night too, I was remembering eventually I upgraded to like, do you remember MP3 CDs where you could like burn like hundreds of songs? So I had one of those with like 600 songs on it, and I would plug it into the tape thing in our car. And I remember when I first got my driver's license, I was like cranking Under Oath, what's it called? Changing of the Times. Like me and my brother got in the Honda Civic, my dad's Honda Civic, which was like, I don't know, there was something wrong with the brake fluid, but we got in there and we were cranking Under Oath, like that first Jars of Clay ass song, to go get Slurpees, the first time of freedom. And then it didn't stop at a stop sign, and I rear-ended someone like literally 10 minutes in to my first drive. And then I wasn't allowed to listen to music while using the family car for quite a while. So, but I mean, it wasn't my fault. The brake fluid was all fucked. Anyways, Yeah, but
was it actually, or were you just vibing too hard to under?
No, like it was like I think it was like you pushed the brake.
Get someone else in your family to confirm this.
It was like one of those things where it was like janky, where it was like if you push it all the way down, it'll stop. But if it wasn't like a normal brake, it's like you need to do.
Picture that. We had a. I remember we had like a tour. I think it was probably the Davies. Like we had a car that we borrowed from Justin's dad's place of business. That was like one of those kind of GMC sort of like work kind of cube vans. And I feel like I remember one year like getting home from tour and just being like, you have to really push your foot down. Like, you got to give yourself a lot of space. And unless I'm fully misremembering this, and Justin listens to the pod, so he will chime in at some point whenever he catches up. Like after dropping everyone off, he was taking the van like back to his parents' place and like fully ripped through a red light because it was just like, well, they died. So it does happen.
It was like one of those things that was like a dad repair where it's like, my dad knows that you have to like tap the brake thing a bunch of times and it'll work. But I was definitely
You weren't prepared.
And that makes me wonder if I would have. I think I was more forgiving towards bands like this if they were on Tooth and Nail. So if this had been like a Christian band, I might have liked it more. But because they were trying to take back Sunday instead of upholding the Sabbath, that's the thing. I was also thinking last night, what if a fun thing would be to imagine a band called Taking Bath Sunday, and you're just like in the bath, having a nice bath. That'd be nice.
I mean, that's good. I feel like the bath discourse is, picking up in a way that, like, I felt like there was a lot of bath discourse maybe like a year or two ago, but like baths are, in the conversation right now. So that's interesting. I think another good piece of wordplay that came out of yesterday is that if you had a podcast about Taking Back Sunday, you could call it Talking About Sunday, or maybe that also is just like another religious podcast where you could just sort of discuss upholding the Sabbath. Was that your number one? Because for me, the driving around, everyone getting their driver's license and like getting in like minivans and stuff with people, the number one album was Andrew WK's "I Get Wet." Like I can just picture like shaking a van while someone tried to drive it, just like absolutely losing myself to the sweet tones of Party Harder.
It was definitely for me. I'm really starting to understand how epic Lightning Bolt is, because it was definitely Ride the Lightning and Wonderful Rainbow by Lightning Bolt for me.
I love that you're so like, I'm going around listening to fucking Andrew WK and you're listening to Lightning Bolt.
It is very similar though, actually. I mean, both on Load Records actually at one point. And then like 3 Inches of Blood for sure. Reserve 34, Rain City Games, like shit that I would get at show. I was definitely all about like going to small shows, and I was definitely, I guess what I've been trying to say for the last however long we've been recording, I'm not going to click anything in GarageBand to see.
Don't touch your computer. Don't look at your fucking computer.
It's just too much of a snob for this.
Do not make eye contact.
And I still kind of am, but I also...
That's fine.
Okay, here's the problem though. All these bands, I feel like, always have one album that's like this, where it's like, it is objectively like pretty good. Obviously, the vocals are really annoying to me, and I think the lyrics are pretty bad. As we discussed yesterday. Maybe we won't even bring them up again. Who gives a shit?
Have you heard the fucking lyrics, man? Like, if you're listening to this, you can look them up yourself if you're not familiar. And if you are familiar, what do you need us to say about them?
Yeah. They're misogynist or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Then we'll get it. I will say we can probably avoid, but I feel it necessary to say that I probably spent 20 minutes last night when we did this episode talking about the Jessica Hopper emo Where the Girls Are.
Yeah, he was talking about it so long, and it was one of those great moments where Sam just keeps going because he wants to make sure that he says that he's on the right side of the debate.
Yes.
And I just like literally sat back and probably disconnected a cord or something from leaning.
That's what happens. Yeah. So I won't lean into it, but I will say, Take Back Sunday, all very sexist. Jessica Hopper, totally right about things.
But were they the band that like inspired that article?
No, but I think it was them and Dashboard. Like, I do think it was like very much because these were like the preeminent bands of that movement. And this is something that we kind of touched on yesterday, but now I want to dig more into it, which is that to me, the reason that this resonated so much is because I came from a very privileged background where like, in this era where I was like discovering myself and you're really sort of like pushing who am I in the world? I'm in grade 10, I'm in grade 11. What is a Sam? And I was just so wholly obsessed and could not think past my relationships with women at that. Like, it was just the only thing that consumed me was thoughts of crushes and crushes that did not reciprocate, or crushes that did reciprocate, but something about it was wrong. This was like, I didn't give a shit about fucking anything. The bands that I think of, like, when I think of, like, the sort of emotional rawness of the high school experience are being obsessed with my relationships with the opposite sex and only listening to Taking Back Sunday and Dashboard Confessional, and being so fucking mad about girls generally. I'm using, like, the worst version of this language, but that's how I felt at that time. And then being so mad at people drinking and only listening to the Minor Threat discography CD, because, like, anything more subtle than that, like, just was not on the right frequency, right? So, like, you have, like, you know, the new metal stuff for, like, being just, like, super aggro and ragey, and maybe, like, a handful of other things for, like, other emotions. But, like, to me, the holy trinity of, like, really of high school is, like, maybe I'll try to throw something else in there to be cool, but it's like, those are the predominant emotions. Like, I'm mad at girls for not liking me, and I'm mad at people I know for drinking because I'm honestly afraid of drinking, right? Like, that's it. Or, like, oh my God, the people that I'm in a band with smoked weed. The band has to break up now because they're fools. Little did I know. So what for you, like, did you just go through high school, like, feeling fucking aloof and listening to, like, intellectual Canadian indie rock where you're like, mad at class today, I'm going to listen to Doomake? Or, like, what did you, like, you know?
No, I definitely felt the same way. I mean, my whole description. But what did
you listen when you were like, I'm mad at girls?
I don't know. I probably listened to, like, Lightning Bolt, and was like, I bet a girl would never listen to this. You know, it's like, I mean, I was terrible.
You make Lightning Bolt misogynist.
I was, like, terrible. I was even worse, probably. But, like, yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, that it speaks to that feeling. And I also think, I guess what I was trying to say a second ago, and then I accidentally started babbling away, but bands like this, I feel like, always have one or two records that feel so immediate and exciting. And, like, this does sound pretty cool in some ways, even though I also think it sucks. And I've already done this episode once, so I'm not going to try to, sometimes I try to square those two feelings at once so that it kind of seems nuanced. But I do think that this sucks and is good at the same time. And that's all I'm going to say.
I think that's fair.
But, you know, knowing that they become, like, kind of pretentious and, like, do they sound like 30 Seconds to Mars or something? Or they sound like Pluto or, like, all these other...
Much stranger than that. I think the only really significant sonic shift in this band... So, like, I love this record. I do not love the second one. I think it has some bangers on it. We will get to my printed thoughts about it in a moment. But everything after that I don't really follow. But it seems like it's kind of all the same vibe. I think it becomes increasingly Bon Jovi-esque, like, as they sort of shed any pretension of, like, being a band sort of that was associated with, like, I don't know, like, punk and hardcore, as we may talk about in one of the great Taking Back Sunday interviews that I did when I was in high school. So a lot of, like, trying to decide how to, like, you know, how and what to retread here. But they did at one point kind of pivot into sounding like Against Me. And that's the big pivot. They have an album called Tidal Wave. And I remember, and at this point, even that album's probably 15 fucking years old, but the first single, this was definitely less than 15 years ago, because it was for sure, like, heavy Twitter usage era. And everyone was like, what the fuck? Like, what world are we living in that 100%, like, it doesn't even feel like an accident. Like, it's so Against Me-ish. And maybe that's because at that time, like, Against Me were on, like, record 2 at Sire, and Taking Back Sunday were sort of on the wane a little bit. And it seemed like that festy kind of, like, punk thing, like, they were touring with the Menzingers, like, that all of a sudden kind of became the world they were in.
Oh wow, what a horrible album cover! It has, like, the Vinyls imprint on it.
Yeah, it looks it's like Gaslight Anthem. Like, it's that all of a sudden became.
That's like, you talk about how
you talk
about how fucking hot it is when you can see the dick print through the gray sweatpants. Well, for me, when I can see the vinyl through the vinyl cover, ooh.
Yeah, that's it. That's Josiah's dick print, baby. But this is the thing that I respect to everyone who sort of, like, followed the full trajectory of Taking Back Sunday. but to me, this is so, you know, and I don't know why I keep saying this, because the only person that cares about it is you, but I'm like embarrassed to be repeating myself. So I'm like, as we discussed yesterday, Josiah,
I know
we should stop it. But I think it's true to the essence of this podcast.
It's too late.
It's too late. And it's just, I think in order for us to sort of continue to believe that this is really a podcast where it is you and I talking to each other and kind of not giving a shit, we have to not start performing.
I do appreciate that there's been a few things I wanted to say yesterday I didn't, and I got to. And another one of them is when you were talking about Jessica Hopper's article. It was in Punk Planet. I wanted to call it NPR MRR, Punk Planet.
Oh, that's good. Thinking. That's really good. Do you think anyone would appreciate that joke in 2021? Like if you were to find a way to shoehorn that into a post?
Or like I haven't been recording yet, but we could put it in this episode.
Okay, good. We're just getting warmed up here. Yeah, we're just trying out some ideas here. But this is a band that I feel is so closely tied to the sort of embarrassingly raw emotions of like those sort of most awkward years of your life, where like I can go back and listen to WK and I'm like, well, that was me hanging out and like partying.
I'm trying to figure out something though, Sam. Like
yes,
I don't think I realized even yesterday that, you know, you were talking about, and you do have some hilarious early journalism about Taking Back Sunday, but
yeah.
Oh, by the way, Taking Back Sunday, it abbreviates to TBS, which kind of makes me think of Superstation, where I used
That's
to.
That's a great new observation that you made today only.
The movie Orcas on there, and Sam, you might be wondering what that is. Well,
what is Orcas?
It's it's kind of like Jaws, but about killer wheels.
Damn, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
How have I not heard of that?
TBS Superstation. Also, who
it's
saved
good, it's good.
No, but
you're just remembering shit you said yesterday and just shoehorning it in. By the way, apropos of nothing, here's something about the acronym. Carry on. So, okay, you're trying to figure out something.
I want to figure out. I don't think I even realized yesterday. I thought that you were just like, I thought that kind of just like every normie is like, oh yeah, I love Taking Back Sunday. Like it seems like it's like karaoke music for like normie punks, but you're making it seem like this band literally changed your life. And I want to know, like, what was Sam listening to before? What happened to Sam after this bomb was dropped into his lap?
This explosion. I mean, I think like before this, you've got like the Blink as the gateway, which we've discussed a handful of times. We have talked about Grade, and Grade I think is like the thing that leads right into this. But like, whereas I felt like I could never be in a band like Grade were already seemed like much older and cooler, and they had songs that were like definitely about relationships, but they also had songs about like math.
Which is kind of like relationships in and of itself.
Well, that's it. But it was too much for me to sort of make that intellectual leap. And it was obvious, like, to me that they were kind of coming from a space that like I was not embedded in. Like they were like a hardcore band. And I was like, I live in my parents' basement in Etobicoke. I love Blink-182. I'm not necessarily this person. Taking Back Sunday were such an obvious, just like, so they were a little bit older, but they were just so deeply suburban. The only thing they fucking cared about were the things that I cared about. And I don't know if this is necessarily like transformative the way I would say that Blink and Grade were transformative, but there's already like a thing that's happening where I'm starting to write about music, and I had interviewed Kyle Bishop from Grade, but that was like for someone else's website, loving Taking Back Sunday and loving sort of what was happening around them, again with like other bands like Thursday that were on Victory, and feeling a little bit like there was kind of, for lack of a better term, like a gap. Like I could write about this band. And so I started a website that I called an e-zine because it seemed more punk, called My Girlfriend Broke Up With Me, My Tear-Stained Sweater Is Too Tight, mysweater.net. And I wrote about like this was like my fucking beat. And
was there a semicolon in the title? My girlfriend broke up with me, or it's just a run-on sentence?
Run-on sentence, a total run-on sentence. And like I was interviewing bands like Taking Back Sunday. I was interviewing Moneen. I was interviewing Alexa on Fire. Like I'm looking at it now, like the Full Blast, Prevent Falls. Like it was all like that Equal Vision kind of like, but again, the like really, really soft end of what all those bands were doing. And I think this was just like the thing that I like loved more than anything else in the world. And as I think we talked about in the great episode, this is like less of a like transformative kind of musical thing and more of, okay, I started this website. I ended up pitching like a radio show I volunteered at CIUT trying to do like an emo radio show because I was like, no one is playing this music anywhere, and I love it. And you go to the first Taking Back Sunday show in Toronto was in 2002 after this record came out. It was at the Cool House, which is like one of the bigger, like basically the next step up from the Cool House is like you're doing fucking arenas, and that's already where this band was like immediately. And so I ended up like volunteering at CIUT in an attempt to get a radio show, and I was like in fucking high school at this point, volunteering at a U of T radio station. And like that literally led me to everything that I've done since. Like all of the writing samples that I sent to Exclaim and then became an editor there and then went to Radio and Television Arts at Ryerson. Like the full scope of my fucking life starts really with like Blink and Grade, but like in a material like I'm going to do something about it sense. Like I'm going to spend all my nights trying to make this notebook scan look like a website in Dreamweaver, which of course is the amazing layout of mysweater.net. It looks sick as hell. Like that is it. Like that is so in terms of like them being like a transformative, crucial band for me, like that's 100% it, which is
that's interesting.
Not a great
it's
origin
almost,
story.
No,
I guess.
I think it makes sense because it's like, it's almost like, I mean, you clearly were very in awe of this band, and maybe you should share the sweater thing in Discord when the episode comes out. But like, because it's sick, and I don't think we need to. We did do kind of a full reading of the interview with some guy who's not in Taking Bath Sunday anymore. But
I talked about Sunday with Ed, who left the band a couple of years ago, and I reviewed the album. I gave it a 10 out of 10.
And you called it brilliant many times.
I kept calling it brilliant.
You said it brilliant.
We don't need to do a reading.
Brilliant is not
a screenshot of this in the Discord.
Brilliant is not a strong enough word, he said about it. But so you clearly were in awe of it, but at the same time, it was like Grade and Blink. You were too young to really be, but then Taking Back Sunday were around and you're like, I'm going to be that guy for this. Like whoever was the journalist 100%. Covering that stuff, you're like, oh, that's going to be me. I'm going to be almost famous. And there was like local stuff happening. Like I look at, again, the other stuff that I was reviewing and bands I was interviewing it was like kind of bridging the stuff that was coming out on those like bigger American labels with then interviewing like Sub, who were like from Montreal and on Stomp, or like The Getaway, who were a sick local pop punk band. And then like little things eking in here where I'm like, oh, I also interviewed, like Royal City. I would like love to know how that went. What are my questions to Royal City? Lyrically, the idea of shit seems to emerge more than a few times on the last album. Was that a conscious inclusion or just something that kind of happened? I wonder a lot about waste and objection, what we throw away. Maybe I should have thought more about wasted words. I think this guy was subtweeting me. Absolutely sub answering me. I get it. You're like I can only imagine you had like a little high pitched little twerp voice, and you're all probably even more excited than now.
No, my voice was like, I would say I've like let my voice settle into its like natural state, but like for sure once my voice dropped, like I would talk like this. Like I definitely made an attempt. I remember when I was a kid, one of the times that I got like, because there was these kids in my neighborhood that would sometimes beat me up if we crossed paths.
Oh my God, really? Uh-oh. Sam just left the call. Sam, you just left the call for a second.
What?
You're here. It's okay. Nothing happened. But you were opening up about being bullied in school, which is terrifying.
Yeah. Am I back in the call? Am I here? Is everything chill?
You're here. The bullies got you.
Fuck. The bullies got me. The point is that in terms of like how I affected my voice is that I was being accosted by my bullies. Calling me the F word and whatnot, and hassling me.
Fucker.
And they called me a fucker. And it seemed like I was gonna get like everything was kind of gonna be chill. And then the sort of ringleader, Brett, his girlfriend, whose name I don't know.
Brett.
Yeah, Brett. Big time bully energy. Brett McKnight. His girlfriend.
Look him up, folks.
As things
were settling down. Let's find him.
As things were sort of settling down, his girlfriend went, because I was like a fucking loser, was like, why is his voice deeper than yours to Brett? And then I got the shit kicked out of me because I was like, guys, we don't have to fight. Like, I was talking.
That's so good. Yeah. I didn't know you were getting bullied. And now you get bullied by me all the time.
It was like a whole fucking thing, man.
Oh my God. Did you tape them?
I know. No, I probably got new glasses. I wasn't like a fucking loser. I was it was quite a tragic era, and again, Taking Back Sunday in the headphones the whole time because I was like, man, this is why girls don't like me
because of Brett McKnight. Man,
Brett McKnight. Brett McKnight. Somebody is.
It's on site, bro. I'm serious. If you're listening to this,
Brett McKnight, it's on site.
Only I'm allowed to bully Sam. But okay,
it comes from a very different place.
Back to your little notebook zine. Something that I did find interesting with your interview with whatever his fucking name is, former Taking Back Sunday guy, that kept coming up was like, first of all, the way that you phrased it, but also the way that it is. So in this interview that Sam did,
both the way that I phrased it, I like the way you phrased it, and also the way that it is.
Just like it was like it wasn't out of place. Like you kept. First of all, you said you guys recently played with Boxcar Racer. How did the hardcore community feel about that, playing with a band on a major label? And like, first of all, it's worth noting that Tom DeLonge did go on to direct a music video for Taking Back Sunday, which might explain why he doesn't really understand incel red flags in music videos. It could be why the Angels and Airwaves fiasco happened with his recent music video. He might just be stuck in the past, in a previous Sunday life. Because even this music video for this song is kind of like if Fight Club was incel, right? Or it's like girls beating up guys because they're mean or something.
Yeah, it's not a gender swapped reimagining of Fight Club. It's just like a very unimaginative and literal. Like, what if instead of guys beating up guys, it's girls beating up guys? The way that it is out in the streets, the way we were experiencing, emotional violence on our psyches, and that's it. It's like
very, a little bit sketchy, but not as sketchy as the Angels and Airwaves.
It's not sketchy. It's more that it's just like, that is definitely the sort of unimaginative way that we probably all thought about Fight Club in high school, besides the fact that we were like, well, corporations are bad and the Gap is bad.
It's true, although I gotta say, I just got some new Gap pants. One of my first Gap purchases ever. Whew, killing it on the pants.
The basics. I don't own any of the Gap basics, but some of the people in my home are very enthusiastic about Gap sort of essentials.
So, it's just so funny that you thought the hardcore community would be mad at them for playing with Boxcar Racer, but then the guy from Taking Back Sunday is like, oh, they're all like old school hardcore guys too, and then he goes on to like constantly talk about how he thinks of Taking Back Sunday as being a hardcore band. And this is like, this album seems to be them. This is like their thesis statement as a band is very confusing to me that anyone would consider this a hardcore band other than that it has like Bridge 9 board energy. Like I could see a lot of these things being signatures on Bridge 9 posts, or I could see also just it has like Bridge 9 lurker energy too. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah, you know what I didn't notice yesterday when we were sort of combing this interview is he does name drop our close personal friends, the Lawrence Arms, as a very fun band to tour with. When I ask, is it fun to tour or something? I don't know.
Hard hitting.
In terms of bands to tour with, what's been your favorite so far? Just in terms of hanging out with people and having a lot of fun. Fucking Christ.
That's great.
I skipped school for this. We talked about this extensively yesterday, but like I skipped school like 3 times to try to get this interview. This was like a really, really big deal.
So there's just a whole world of like people who like the Lawrence Arms and Taking Back Sunday and like all these other things that I just kind of willfully ignored.
Yeah, you just missed all of it.
And now I'm just kind of in that trapped trying to recommend the best Hayden album to the one person who would care, and you won't listen to me. You refuse to believe me. The bass song. Have you ever heard the bass song? It's incredible. The bass song is fucking incredible.
The bass song is fucking good, actually. That's true.
Yeah.
He just clutches that bass. Oh, that's the one where he talks about like holding the bass, right? That's the bass song.
Yeah.
Which one's Two Doors on? What album is that? Is that on Side River National Park?
I can't.
Where he just talks about like wanting to fucking bone the person that he saw at the hotel check-in.
I feel like that's the one before.
That's because that's the real creepy song where it's like he's in the adjoining room with some stranger and he just wants to fuck.
A friend of mine growing up from like the same realm of my pretentious 2002 list, he thought that when the band Everlast came out, he like told all of us that it was Hayden and that he had really pivoted and was rapping, and he like sincerely believed it. And he's like 5 years older than me.
Was he just like mixing up Everlast, Hayden, and Buck 65 because they're all like the same sort of
yeah,
genre
maybe.
of white guy?
Although Hayden has never rapped, and also,
but what if he in that fucking low bear, like, because I mean Buck 65 also with a
Buck
winning
65
baritone.
is but Buck 65 I feel like is actually more like proto Lin-Manuel Miranda when you really look back on it.
That's a fucking terrible thing to say. Oh God, it's regrettably true. I see you loading up in terms of proto things. You know, there is no denying the impact of this band, like, because this is also to me definitive like emo night music,
right? And you know, yesterday obviously you had clearly made this note to play this. Dylan Brady from 100 Gex had produced this track for Lil Aaron. It was on your notes. And it was not something that I found and played that brought our episode into relevance.
I made 100% of the notes for this episode.
You're the one who
no contribution.
You were like, "Oh, this is a minute 55 seconds long. I'm going to make us relevant by playing this." And I was like, "Damn, Sam, you're really on one tonight." With
Absolutely
this. So
killing the game. That's what made losing the episode so disappointing. Is that I truly elevated.
You get all the credit again for this, finding this little Aaron nugget. This is called IWGFU, produced by Dylan Brady of 100 Gex. Let's hear what this sounds like for the very first time in our lives.
I'm curious.
The Dave Matthews Band.
Drive. Crash Drive. Crash is such a great song.
I think Drive is a better movie than both Crash movies, to be honest.
I mean, look, I would love to pretend that, like, you know, Sexy Crash is a better movie. I think that's like a cooler answer, but obviously Drive is a better movie.
Sexy Crash is like, honestly, yeah, it's a great contrarian answer, but
it's not right.
It's not a very good movie. Let's be honest.
Like, you know, it's cool that they fuck in the car crash, but like, that's it.
Yeah.
This is good though that I'm hearing for the first time.
Yeah, I know. It's like, damn.
2017, like, where is that in terms of like the rise of Gex?
I think it's big time pre.
Like, this is before like everyone our age like used them as a reference point for how we're not
how kooky they are.
Decaying.
Yeah. I get it.
Well, you know, this stupid horse. I'm a little stupid for that track myself. That's good.
So that was Lil Aaron with it. And maybe we're going to talk to Lil Rebecca now and splice that in here. I'm not going to stop recording, and we're going to keep going through the episode because I'm going to have a fucking...
So afraid.
I'm so scared. But there will be a break here, presumably with Rebecca. And then,
assuming we recorded.
Assuming it happened. Maybe this also got deleted. We are so excited. We are so excited to have... We're taking back Rebecca right now is what we're doing. I mean,
please take me.
I feel like it was like, what, 100 years ago that you came on here to talk about...
definitely 100.
In pod years,
Blink 182, I think it was. Whoever that...
Who even are they?
I don't really know. I don't really listen to that kind of stuff anymore. Just like I kind of like listen to books on tape. Okay?
Oh my god!
Listening to books.
Sick.
Not even. It's a full lie.
It's
a full lie.
Like you don't listen to.
I listened to one book on tape.
You don't listen to the audio recording.
2 years ago.
You just hold the book up to you, like a rapper with a stack of money, but it's a book that you hold up to.
Yeah, and you
like
hear the ocean.
Yeah.
Or like the inside of an author's brain, just like it's like an echo. Yeah. That's what I'm doing instead of listening to Blink. What was it?
I can't remember.
125?
Something like
also,
that.
Josiah did your podcast, Classroom Crush, which I listened to and loved, but it was very nerve-wracking for me because I feel like you got very close to Josiah talking about fucking. And like, that's a thing that like, that is a world that we have never in like years and thousands of hours each other. We like never have gotten spicy.
Right, oh my God, we lost the recording again.
All right, so what is the horniest thing you ever did done? Question to both of you. Classroom Crush mini edition.
Well, here's the thing I do want to say is that Sam loved to roast me about that at the time. He also conveniently ghosted you when it was his turn to do an episode. So that's kind of the Sam
I got nothing
way.
good to say. It's like Blocked Party, which we've talked about, which Josiah's done and I haven't. It's like no one's blocked me, and my like romantic
I got Sam booked onto
are not worthy of a podcast.
So yeah, while we're clearing the air, Sam was booked on Blocked Party for episode 155, and he
wow.
Yeah, I got him. I'm Sam's booking agent. I got him Blocked Party. I got him Classroom Crush,
and I'm the flaky talent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to pose the question. Will you do it? Just kidding. I mean, I'm not bringing my podcast. I don't know if I'm bringing my. Listen, I realized I got to 90 episodes, and it's like, well, that's pretty dumb. I should probably do 10 more episodes. Or is it hilarious?
That's true.
That it's only 90 and it dropped out of nowhere. Or, I mean, it dropped because George Floyd in the pandemic. And I was like, I'm not doing this shit right now. And then I kept not doing that shit. But if I were to bring it back, I'm trying to get the 10 biggest gets.
Sam Sutherland.
It's like,
the second half of 155, for sure. That's it. That's the sort of marquee guest that's going to bring people back.
Because he plays so hard to get.
That's what it is. I'm enticing to people. That's the
thing. You used to host Classroom Crush, and you hosted a show called Jacking Off, which is a great title. I love the title, but I hate Jack Black. As you know, I'm not a fan of Jack Black. I can't fuck with
that. That's a bad opinion.
And we can be different, and that's what abolition's all about.
But that you keep talking about that. The thing is, for people who maybe realize how wonderful you are when we did each other's shows, started following you on social media, then you kind of just like did a hard pivot as a thing.
Yeah.
And you
became a full-time good person while the rest of us were out here just doing Twitch streams. Like our way of getting through the pandemic was doing Twitch streams and listening to Hinder. And your way of getting through the pandemic was trying to make America a better and more fair place.
She was trying to, let's be honest, you were trying to make it great again.
I was trying to make America great again. Yes, indeed. And we did it. We did it, guys. Biden is in office and we have done it. Problems solved.
You dedicated your life to the Democratic Party and were rewarded with the Biden presidency. So, on behalf of the rest of the world, thank you so much.
But I think, of course, and I will be running for city council despite not being from New York. I guess you don't even have to. People got mad about that. You don't even have to really be from New York to run for that shit. Is not from New York,
right? Yeah.
No, yeah, he pretends to live in Bed-Stuy where I don't live because no one knows where I live in the internet world. But he lives in Bed-Stuy. I'm like, I hang out in Bed-Stuy a lot. Have never seen Sir Adams. And did you ever see those pictures of his like apartment?
Oh, yeah, it's just like his son's apartment or whatever.
Yeah,
like a Fight Club poster on the wall.
You don't wear those sneakers. You're stupid.
Yeah,
it was super cool. Like, okay, if we want to just briefly talk about what I've been up to for like over a year now. I guess like the best encapsulation of it is like, it's super cool to be doing abolitionist, like anti-capitalist work for in a community of people for a year. And then New York's like, cool, we hear you. Black Lives Matter. Okay, we will definitely be electing the Black mayor who's a fucking cop. So like, he's legit like the cop. Like he's a cop. He was a cop and he is the cop to pick on that ballot. And that's what New York chose. I mean, obviously there's no good option, but like, I don't know, disheartening. But we push through, we push on.
Or you basically spent a year fighting for Eric Adams to become mayor of New York.
And then now that he is, you're back in the pod.
You're good. Yeah. You're ready to podcast.
I've been campaigning for him. Yeah. I'm actually really satisfied.
Put away the Molotov cocktail and pick up the Blue Yeti, baby. You're back.
Yeah. Eric's going to give us it all. Eric's going to actually turn on his own people, and he's going to get rid of the cops, and he's going to give housing to all. And he's going to abolish capitalism, which is what I thought was a kind of crazy twist. Like, he told me about it.
In Bed-Stuy.
Yeah. He's like, let's tear this shit down, Rebecca. And I was like, let's do it. Yeah, so looking forward to it. Looking forward to all of it.
but I mean, obviously, we are so intoxicating on the mic that everyone who talks to us ends up back in the pod game. So what are you going to do next? If you go back into podcasting, what's going to be the next Rebecca project?
I don't know. I mean, Rebecca's really trying to take herself seriously right now, which is why she's also talking in the third person now, right now. She's thinking, if she gets back in the game, maybe we finish up the old cast, the old Classroom Crush. Well, because also I should do it because I have a boyfriend now. So
whoa,
I feel like, that's crazy.
This is an exclusive? This is an exclusive drop on this podcast?
No, I mean, I guess on
it's been
admitted on pod to being.
Wow. Yeah. I literally have a boyfriend.
Oh my God.
I tried calling him before this and he didn't answer.
Whoa.
But he loves me. But yeah, that would be interesting. But beyond that, I don't know. I think maybe scripted audio drama or some shit. Some proof of concept type. She's trying to make movies. She's trying to make TV shows, So anything that gets her closer to that.
Just for the listeners at home, Rebecca's doing very conceptual hand movements while describing this.
I'm very drawn in.
Cool? Yeah. You know what's so funny? I took an acting class in Chicago and they were so mean to me. But this one teacher kept making me do shit where I couldn't. She was like, stand still. And I'm like, no. And then I'm like, fine, I'll try it. And it was so hard for me not to be moving all over the place. And it's wait, is this true vulnerability? To just be here? Just to be a blank place to be a wall?
We're learning so much.
Scary.
We haven't even talked. Incredible. I mean, this is what happens when you talk to Rebecca. You find yourself in others.
I overshare?
No, It's great. So here's the thing, Rebecca. In our many years of doing this, we have asked to quote 50 Cent, we've asked many men to do the show. And they always say, I've never heard of this band. Sure, I'd love to talk about it. Whereas a common thread we noticed, including with you, you said to me, I love this band so much, but I'm in no means an expert, which is just kind of a very interesting thing that happens where, I mean, also to be clear, when we recorded the first time of this episode before it was deleted, that was my first time ever hearing this band or song. So,
and we made people pay us to do
what
this.
We need you to admit currently on the podcast right now, though, just to get out of the way, is I was your second choice. I hear it. Okay. I was the second choice for the epised.
That's not true.
I don't think.
Yes, I'll ask for back. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm trying to think.
Trying to think how that happened. No, I mean,
okay, let me be honest.
So
let me be honest with you.
okay.
Let me be honest with you. We did ask somebody else before we thought let's get some talent. Let's get a blue check. Are you a blue check? I don't know. Are you? We need to get Rebecca a blue check immediately.
At this point, I refuse.
Oh, really? Now that you hate the man so much, you don't want to be a
yeah, I hate the man, and I don't want to be a part of this hierarchy. I don't.
We were being lazy, and we asked someone from within the family, also a woman who similarly was like, there's got to be someone better you can ask who knows this. I feel like people just, I think it's respectable in a way, this desire to not talk out of your ass and pretend you know what you're talking about, which is what we do.
Well, and that is okay. Wow. And we're making so many connections. Perhaps maybe that's how I felt in the movement, right? I've been wait, fuck, am I talking in my ass and everybody hates me? and like, and everything I'm doing is wrong. That like legit, and that's why I'm here now, working on myself. So those feelings can go everywhere.
Yeah.
But I started therapy, so look at that.
There we go.
So I'm doing better. But also, I think that I'm going to take it back. I'm going to take back the Sunday. That I tried to figure out a better way to do.
Imagine taking back a Sunday because they gave you the wrong flavor ice cream shop.
I tell you, I was definitely
like sending back
like
Sunday.
The day.
Yeah,
yeah.
Right.
Like you're like it's actually a more formal scenario where you're like, this Sunday is, can you take us back?
There's a Sunday sommelier at the restaurant.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You sort of take a taste of Sunday, and you're like, this Sunday is
actually no.
Yeah, no thanks.
And that's what there are people who do that. There are people who do that, and they're white people. And this is getting awkward. No, but like re-listening to, I don't know, I don't want to get into it, but I'm going to say I'm more confident about talking about this than I thought I would be. And also it is comforting to know that I'm not the only person that said that.
You're not.
And maybe there's doesn't exist an expert on this band. And what does that say? I wouldn't
want to meet somebody who's like, I know it's fine if that's your thing, but I just like, probably the person on this podcast shouldn't be someone who knows every single Taking Back.
Yeah,
Sunday.
like that
is like not really our vibe.
We've established that we're a vibe based podcast, and kind of like almost like the fake news of cultural reviews. I think in a way. So
this is fake pod, but it's a real pod, and you're listening to it right now.
That's right. We're gonna clip that as a promo.
It's all vibe. It's like Dune. It's all vibe. Y'all seen Dune?
I haven't seen it.
No.
Well,
I've
all
seen
vibes.
The memes. I get it.
It's literally just like we are vibing. We are vibing. Like that's how I feel about it. I don't know.
That's sick.
So I mean, tell us the full name of every member that's ever been in the band and rank the discography. I'm just kidding.
Okay, I'm not even gonna lie. I did do Google, and so I could tell you a couple: John Nolan, Adam Lazzara.
Whoa,
those guys.
That's pretty good.
She knows her stuff.
Well, this is the shit. The amount of lineup changes that this band has had, incredible. And so it really says something probably about how fucking toxic those boys are. Like, no, legit, there's been like so many iterations of this band. And like the basically for a long time, there was like no original members of the band, like, and until like two guys came back. Crazy. So
they're definitely a band. When you talk about doing a Google, like there is a whole, like our level of research is basically Wikipedia, and there is an entire Wikipedia page that is like people who have played in Taking Back Sunday. Like it's like one of those bands where there's just dozens of fucking names.
Does it have the chart?
White people from Long Island.
Right.
It does have a chart. It has a chart with the lines within the lines and shit.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it's like John Nolan from this to this time to this, and then this to this time, and then this to this time. I definitely want to know the hot goss and the drama for sure.
It sounds a lot like Dune.
There's gotta be.
Really, the confusing timeline is probably like Dune. I don't know if that tracks, but
fear
is the mind killer, as Taking Back Sunday has often said. So, okay, what?
No, girls are the mind killer for Taking Back Sunday. Fucking girls, fucking bitches.
Well, okay, that's actually what I want to know is like, as one of those, girl, I mean, do you,
bitch. I'm a boss bitch.
You are. You're the boss bitch of Bed-Stuy. But
allegedly,
like, how when you? Well, I don't know when you listened to this first, or when you listened to it when you were younger, or versus now. How do you feel about these kind of like lyrics that seem sus as hell?
Right, the vitriol. Right. Well, I'd say with this song, it's helpful that you don't know what the fuck he's saying like 60% of the time. Like, like he's kind of being crazy. But also listen, self-loathing, right? And like Well, I was very good at being able to just like map whatever feelings that I had onto the song and just like adjust appropriate characters and pronouns or whatever in my head. But I definitely, when I was younger, it's like, yeah, she was probably a bitch. Yeah, she was probably a bitch, you know, because as a girl growing up listening to that type of music, you're like, well, surely she's a bitch because I agree with these guys and they say things that I also feel, you know? So sure. I mean, now it's like, okay, take a breath. It's like what I want to say to him. It does help knowing that like,
there's too many vocals. Like there's so
too much
to
vocals.
say. You cannot breathe.
And like I will say, I fuck with this song. I think this song rocks. Even though I also know there are so many parts of it that are just bad. Some of the mixing is very interesting because of how I don't know what the fuck they're saying. But yeah, I mean, now like he was definitely 18 when he wrote this song and it like shows, you know? But yeah, I mean, I think when I would listen to shit like this, it was both, I am so sad about my crush that is not being nice to me also. And also, how can I be like the hottest, coolest, baddest bitch that like this guy would love? You know, it's very to reference a band that, I don't know if you guys know them. They're called Blink-182.
What?
To reference a band, they have this one song about, you know, the girl at the rock show and how he fell in love with the girl at the rock show. And I feel like if you're a young woman listening to this kind of music, I would at least sometimes just like drop myself into that narrative, you know, like, who am I in this? And like, he'd like me because I probably like them. And I did think Adam Lazzara was hot. He was hot.
Does he look like the dad from Gossip Girl? That's what I was thinking, mostly just from his Wikipedia picture.
I don't know, but I remember distinctly that my big high school, and here we go again, classroom crush. My big high school crush, Chris, who I'm still friends with, was just talking to. I remember once when we were like, I guess flirting, quote unquote, had said that people told him that like he reminds them of Adam Lazzara when he was like, because he was like in a band and like how he performed. I remember being like, I really don't see it, but I like both of you, so sure.
That's such a good. That's
he's a very dynamic performer, though.
That's such a frontman name, hey, Adam Lazzara. Like, it's not a lot of options for a guy with that name, I don't think.
You could be a restaurateur.
That's true.
Come to
Lazzara joint,
okay,
you know?
And then you would still be taking back Sundays if you served the wrong one.
Boom.
Bring it back. So bringing it back, baby.
That's what we call a callback. That's like if you were doing a Herald, that's the third beat. Yeah, you should. Okay, when's the movie? When's the Blink-155 movie though?
Is this an audition? Are you auditioning?
Me?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I would like to play the girl at the rock show. No. Well, and what was always so funny with like that shit is like, I'd also know that the girl that they're describing is like so not me, you know, like just not like I knew who she was and she was not me. So it was also easier to decide that she was a bitch, you know, because I'm like, she's probably this little skinny little white girl, you know, and fuck her for hurting you, Adam, you know, and that was always the thing is like, I could treat you better, you know, like I would be the best girlfriend in the world. And you could ask my real boyfriend who exists and he'd say, yes.
I'm not sure I believe you that he exists, but
he's on my phone now. He's on my phone.
He's the background of your phone?
I know, it's gross. It's mostly because this picture is so funny to me because he ran into someone like from our community and he's just in the back, really like it just makes me laugh.
It's cute.
Nobody cares.
I care.
It's cute.
I care.
Thank
I care.
you.
Because is Sarah the background?
But yeah, I mean,
yeah, we've talked about this before.
Yeah, can see.
No, I'm not showing you. Oh wait, this is not going out. This is from our.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we can just see it.
This is just there's a lot of like private conversation energy this week. I've got a software update notice as well. It's not.
People love that. No, it's not working.
It's so good.
Absolute disaster. Folks, and I'm going to give you a play-by-play. So what just happened here is that Josiah brought out his phone, right? He's got a background. Okay, the green screen, it's not happening. At first, it doesn't look like it's happening. Then guess what we see? We see Sarah floating like in the background, and it actually is gorgeous. And does that an apt description of what just happened?
I think so. Yeah, I think
so. This is
emerging
easily
from the cloud of 155.
We do have Blink 155 energy this week because this is pure chaos at all times.
Yes.
Everything is technologically going wrong. We have been recording this whole time though, so that feels good.
Thank God. Have you seen, Rebecca? Have you seen Taking Back Sunday live? Like, were you ever like?
I actually have.
Just like, were you like screaming and feeling all of your?
Let me tell you about it.
Yes,
on
please.
My birthday, I 1 year.
Which birthday?
Saw, maybe my 14th birthday.
Fuck yeah.
14th or 15th, something like.
When's your birthday?
Like that.
When's your birthday?
December the 6th. Coming up.
Mark it down, folks.
Happy early birthday.
I will take.
Abolish the police by then.
Yeah, please do your part to abolish the police. Send me a screenshot of you abolishing the police. And send me a screenshot of you making housing possible.
I was going to say a screenshot of a nice gradient Instagram infographic at least could be helpful.
Yes, please. It's
got to be multiple.
But no, I saw
multiple slides.
Like. Yeah, I want all of the slides, and I want you to read the information and do absolutely nothing with it and like not practice it in your daily life or consider it. But do please share it on your Instagram story so we all know that you have seen it. I'm not jaded, guys. I'm not jaded. But no, yeah. So I saw on my birthday at the Fillmore in Miami Beach, co-headlining Taking Back Sunday. All American Rejects, baby. Ooh. And boy, did I have a time. My mom was there. My mom came.
Shout out to your mom.
And my friend Alu. And Alu, who had a crush on me, but like we didn't, it never happened.
It's not happening, bro.
But it was a vibe for sure. It was so fun.
Wait,
it was really good.
Alu was singing along to all the songs about like.
Oh, he was thinking about you.
Like he was thinking about you the whole time.
Oh my God.
Okay. Podcast listeners, I'll have you know that my jaw dropped at that. Okay, because I'm thinking probably
you didn't visually react.
Did he think I was a bitch? Maybe he thought I was a slutty little tease. Because that's every girl in this band is just like a slutty little tease and a life ruiner and just like the worst and make you want to kill yourself. Right. Like that's what he's saying is.
I think so. That's what I took away from it as a young man, for sure.
Adam or Alu? Yeah. That's what we're trying to figure out.
I hope not Alu. I hope not.
That's a real like.
Right?
I feel like I do want to know. Like, have you ever thought about the fact that people like? You ever thought about the fact people have sung along to Taking Back Sunday and thought about you? Like that's, I feel like that's
so creepy. Are you leaned into your mic?
Because it is.
In no other context would I be like, oh yeah, that happened. But like in the context of us at that concert and just like that vibe, I'm like, possible.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I want to know,
and
like,
I'm singing along about like my crush Mario, and that's depressing.
Oh my God, Alu hated Mario.
Yeah, and they were friends. They did know each other.
What do you think your mom was thinking about at the time?
My mom had a great time.
Your mom rules.
I mean, she does rule. Every show I've taken her to or that she's been dragged to because I need to go, she's rocking. You know, she had a great time at Desaparecidos forever ago. she wasn't like in the pit, but she was rocking.
Does your mom think that mics are for singing or for swinging? Like, where does she, land in the
listen. I
mic
mean,
controversy of the odds.
She might say what she wants to say, but if you get her on stage, who knows what's happening? I could see her swinging that thing.
Yeah.
She loved when I was doing improv. Cool. She loved to be like, I could never do that. Oh my God. How do you do that? I cannot. I'm like, bitch, you are the entertainer of the year everywhere you go. She's the party person, I'm like, you do that every day. Don't tell me you couldn't do that. Like, she's that person who's like, hey, do, get you dancing, whatever.
Your mom's a big presence on your social media, and I that is the impression that
it's
I get
true.
also.
You can tell. Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah. I'm obsessed with her. And I do think I'm becoming more and more like her every day, and I'm cool with it and chilling. I just have a lot more stains on my shirt because like her, I just am dropping food on me all the time. Like I can't put food in my mouth now. I don't know.
You got the dark colors, so you're good.
Yeah. This is a very classic Rebecca
Strategic.
shirt. I wore it for you guys. Just kidding, I was working. But
oh, thanks a lot.
I have no idea what we were talking about. No, yeah, that show.
Taking Back Sunday and on your birthday with All American Region.
On my birthday.
And
that was great. And Alou. I liked Taking Back Sunday, but I was an AAR head, or I loved All American Rejects. I've seen All American Rejects in concert like 4 times.
That guy seems like he's really overly sensual while he's singing. Is that the right vibe? Is he like grinding like crazy?
Tyson?
Yeah, I guess.
Probably. I mean, but he's hot. He can do his thing. I don't know. He probably sucks. He was on Preacher though, which was interesting. He like does random acting.
Oh, really?
He has actor face.
Yeah.
Like, he's
that's true. That is true.
A pop-punk band. Yeah.
He's very handsome, and that's why like the music videos were always a thing. I was like,
just
a
close up on his fucking face.
Yeah. But I saw them there, and I actually saw them at Riot Fest one year, but like later, where I was like, oh shit, that's what he looks like now. Like I was like, oh, he's older now. But they put on a good show. I had a good time. I mean, for the same reasons I'd have a good time at any of other of those fucking Warped Tour like type shows, they were good. And I like his voice, like, and I love, a real singy, screaming band, because then I could be singy, screaming at the show. I'm like, I am singing,
It's very welcoming because so much of it's just like, nah! And you're like, yeah, it's full singing along in the car of music. Like that's the vibe. It's just like, it does not matter if you hit a note because he's not hitting a fucking note.
Well, as someone who's only ever heard Taking Back Sunday as of yesterday, and I've done 2 podcast episodes about them, only one of which will be released. My vibe that I'm getting is that people don't really like the later stuff very much. Is that your vibe too? Like, did you stay on board?
Yeah, I never really listened to it. I think I like tried, and I was like, or it was like at Riot Fest when I saw them and they were playing shit I didn't know, and I was like, the fuck is this? I really do think that like, because that's what I came here for with this band, is the whiny 18-year-old. I just had my first heartbreak. I'm like being the most dramatic. Like that's what I'm here for. I don't want the adult version of that. I don't really want to grow with them, not really. I want to revert and regress every time I listen to them,
Right.
Like, and just remember how insane your little brain can be when you like someone, like, this is this illegal to reference another song that's not this song that they have?
Well, I mean, that is kinda, but
and remember that we're abolishing the police, so think about what's
I guess I got to kill the cop in your own pod, really.
Exactly.
Which is Sam in this one. So
I understand. I knew that was the implication.
But I think I'm watching you, and I am watching you, Sam, when you're just gonna tense up, like, oh, she's doing it. I'm gonna do
you have to stop her. You have to stop her. Yes, it's out of control again.
I mean, when I think of Taking Back Sunday, I do think of the line from, do I even know which song it is? Because they all have the fucking like Fall Out Boy ass titles.
They all seem like fake
And I'm
songs. They all seem made up for
Yeah.
TV. They're not real.
Is it You're So Last Summer?
Is it the blood
one
on the
that's
shirt?
Yeah, exactly. It's that line. It's and whatever, you could slit my throat, and with my one last gasping breath, I'd apologize for bleeding on your shirt. See, when young Rebecca heard that, she was like, okay, so I'm not alone. There are other people who are insane just like me. Except this is actually normal.
This is the Taking Back Sunday
line.
song. That is the Taking Back Sunday line. Like, that is the thesis statement of like why you listen to Taking Back
That's
Sunday.
big time message board signature energy.
Exactly.
That quote. Makeout club.
Yeah.
For the older people.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's really just everything you want. It's so extreme, and this song's very extreme too. Like, just like fucking, I don't know. Like, we get it. You want to die because of the girl, like, I wanted to, have you guys visited the genius.com for this?
You know what?
Genius.com for this song.
We did in yesterday's version of the episode, but not today. So please bring us.
So I'm not telling you anything you haven't already.
But I don't think I looked.
I don't think we clicked any annotations.
Yeah, we didn't really click around too much.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, allow me, because I love to just imagine who's on the other side of the computer doing these little annotations, like this one. Yeah. So the lyric. And will you tell all your friends you got your gun to my head? That's more Blink than it is him. But so for that lyric, and will you tell all your friends you got your gun to my head, says, mentions the album title, Tell All Your Friends, but also is a roundabout way of saying that her actions are making him want to kill himself. And it's got a picture of a guy with a gun to his head. I'm fucking dead. Literally. And he's like about to do it. It's dark. And then this was another one that I'm obsessed with. For the line, the only thing I regret is that I never let you hold me back. It says, as much as he may hate her right now, he still feels something for her, maybe even forgiveness. Therefore, it's too bad that she never stopped him from ending any future chances of them moving past and staying together. Could you tell me what that means? Because I don't think it actually makes sense, but I'm obsessed with it.
Well, I'll tell you, it's her fault is what I got from that, is what it means.
It's all her fault.
That is a lyric in the song, by the way, Josiah. And all of this was all your fault.
Oh, there you go.
And I love it. Yeah, he goes, and I love it.
It's like one of the 10 fucking things happening at the end, yeah.
The thing that they say at the start about the lip...
Apparently, he... Oh, what?
I was just going to say quickly, the lyric that you referenced earlier from the other song, in this song, they're worried about lipstick on a... Like, these guys are really concerned about stains, I've noticed.
They don't want to be dirty boys, but they want to be dirty boys, in a different way. I mean, that was always a thing. Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like this song is edging on some sort of narrative, like imagery. Like, they have some detail in there. It's the clever notes, the little napkins and shit. I'm like, it's funny to hear the word napkins in a song. Just objectively hilarious.
Because I agree with you.
But it doesn't, and I like pedestrian details like that in music, like a lipstick on a collar, whatever, fucking perfume in the clothes, perfume in the clothes. Okay, I don't know what that means, but it's like on the edge, but it's just not poetry yet. Like it's wanting to be. I'm also just in a headspace. I saw Bill Callahan last night. So for some context, like where my head's at, and like, Bill.
Of course. So we had to push our first recording date because Sam was seeing Guar, and then we were going to talk to you yesterday because you were seeing Bill Callahan. So it's a real mixed bag of
I already told you.
Personalities on here.
Yeah. No, Bill rocks. I mean, Smog rocks. I famously posed in my high school, like, senior year photo with, like, a makeshift Smog t-shirt I made which was just a white shirt and Sharpie with the word that says smog, with the word smog on it. But anyways, all that's to say is like Bill Callahan is a poet. And he's a person that could very well have the word napkins in many songs. And I wouldn't bat an eye because it's almost like John Darnielle, like Mountain Goats type, like just narrative. Like I'm there with you. He's like such a cowboy. I'm like, when I listen to him, I'm like, we're on the ranch, you know? But that's not this band, you
right.
know? So it feels like funny, especially that part about the napkins. I'm fixated on the napkins.
Clever
because
napkins
he says it so
too.
like yeah, and what does that mean? You know, clever 1,000 clever notes or like unread on little napkins or some shit like that. It's not really discernible. And I don't actually know what that's about.
When they say napkins, I feel like we're in a Denny's.
Right. I'm like, we're at a diner and what,
but it's not like a cool
that's the
one.
thing. He doesn't take us there.
Yeah.
He's just like assuming that I like know what he's talking about, you know? And I don't totally, but I do know that it's all her fault. Except now, apparently, this is also on genius.com. You guys should check out this website. I just really got a kick out of that one from myself. He says, apparently now, when Adam Lazara sings this lyric now, he changes it to, all of this was all my fault.
Wow, that's growth.
Okay.
That's growth.
That is literally
Dismantling toxic
gross.
masculinity.
He said,
one bridge
right.
at a time.
He said, when asked about but this is different though, because he's like, when asked about the change, he stated, it became hard to just be pointing the finger at somebody so openly and blatantly. This is a reference to the changes made to the lineup in 2002, and he didn't want to deflect his share of the blame for what was happening. I mean, who knows if that's true? But it's like, oh yeah, no, it was my fault that there were so many different band members, but that girl's still a whore.
Listen, dismantling toxic masculinity is a slow process, and it starts with other masculines. You know, that's it.
Yes.
Start with your bros.
You gotta do, you know, and that's accountability, and you have to heal with your bros, with your brothers.
Well, sometimes the biggest bitch in your life is your bass player, really.
Right. Well, and he was the bass player, famously. That's crazy.
Yeah. See, I don't know anything about this.
He was initially the
accidentally.
No, I mean, I literally just found this out. I'm acting like I know everything, but no. Fucking Jesse.
And the bass player
Lacey,
before him was Jesse Lacey. Yeah. Damn.
Exactly. And apparently, John Nolan, one of the guys, according to Wikipedia, had literally he had romanced Jesse Lacey's girlfriend at a party, and then Jesse
romance
Lacey
was a very curious turn of phrase in the Wikipedia, right? Where you're like, what?
Yeah,
He wrote that probably.
Do I need the oral history of Taking Back Sunday? Do I? I might. I didn't think I cared this much.
Who wrote romanced?
But I love gossip.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would love to just put in a room a bunch of people who do these Wikipedia things and be like, so what's your deal? What's your game here? What's your MO? No, I feel like that was very tenderly written, you know? They don't want anyone to feel too bad.
I mean, it sounds like it was the girl's fault probably, but.
Probably, yeah. No, she was, like I said, a slut and a whore. There's really not much that's funnier to me than to say that. I just think it's so fun. And I'm allowed because I have titties, and that is what gender is. Period.
I like just sort of laughing
and it exists.
Yeah, just exactly. Like we're both just like going like this.
I'm like, like I want to be heard audibly laughing on the pod so people know that I have a sense of humor, but I don't want to laugh too much.
Right.
How do you feel?
You want to be like
Zai and I've been doing. We've been laughing.
Are we doing
you guys have been doing good.
Is it ally? You know? Is it ally laughter or something worse?
Can you give me a clean take of your best ally laugh and Josiah and action? Okay, and Sam, action. I'm not gonna lie. I think Sam's was a little more convincing. I
think it was convincing in a way that's almost unnerving, though, like sociopathic. Like you shouldn't be
right.
that
And actually,
good.
I actually am uncomfortable now. I am actually uncomfortable. I am. No. Is this what you guys wanted the podcast to be?
Yeah, I mean, this is much better than what we recorded yesterday.
Okay. Do you like this song?
Yes.
No. Kinda.
Yes, Sam. No. Yeah. Okay. Can I hear why?
Josiah, we've spent two days basically talking about this, but we determined that the real thing is like, I loved all these bands, and Josiah at the same year this record came out, his favorite bands were like Do Make Say Think and Hate It.
I was like, this is like maximum pretentious level. I was like so pretentious at this time that I think it's you can't.
I just wanted to sing along to Thursday songs.
You can't go to this in your late 30s, at 36 years old, and hear this and be like, "Oh yeah, I can see why people." It just sounds like VeggieTales.
Really troubling.
Yeah. You definitely cannot be. There's nothing pretentious about this band. You know, you kind of have to be your most base, primal self to be into it, and that's why they scream like that. You know, that's why they're screaming on top of each other. Like it's weird. I love this song, and there are definitely parts of it that make me feel embarrassed when I hear them, you know, pointedly, most notably how he says angel, you know, because no one has ever said that word the way that he does. It sounds like he's saying another word, right?
He said, you know, that reminds me of something that as I've gotten older, I have tried to become more earnest and kind of embarrassing with admitting that I just like things like that. And it also, when I was writing songs, I realized to make a song good, you have to let enough of yourself in to just be a little bit embarrassing. Maybe not like over the, because I hate embarrassing stuff, but you have to let yourself be a little bit embarrassing. And I thought I was such a genius for coming up with this. And then Ed Sheeran said it the other day. I was like, fuck, I hate Ed Sheeran.
No, but that's, you know, that's a lot of people, you know, it's okay that you had that revelation. I bet told Ed that he didn't come up with that on his own.
He heard it from
who's that guy?
I can't be in the same.
Exactly.
I can't be in the same. That sent me back into my pretentious shell, and now I can't escape again for another. No, 15
you can
years.
do it. It's more fun, I think. Well, I mean, also, I just need to humiliate myself before anyone else does, you know, like that's classic coping. So just like do some more trauma and then you'll get there where all you can do is embarrass yourself, you know, and say too much.
Yeah. I mean, as if that's not what I've been doing for 5 years.
Right. And I think you're doing great. And I love it. And that's why I love you. But I think what's funny is like, agreed. But what's funny about this song is that they don't he doesn't know he's being embarrassing yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't think he thinks he's being embarrassing in this song because he legit is like, my life is over because this girl is, and it's not even like, you don't even know what is she doing? What's wrong? It's just like, she's driving me crazy.
Something about the napkin. I don't know. Something to do with a napkin.
Something about napkins, you know? No, yeah. I guess your lipstick is taller. I mean, I guess that means that she was doing something bad. This is what Genius says. A simple opening outlining the infidelity of his partner in this song, where he has finally caught her cheating and having another intimate relationship with another male. Other parts of this song will deal with the male in question's thoughts and his debates with suicide and self-harm. Thank you. Thank you for that, Genius.
Has anyone in real life ever been caught cheating because of lipstick on a collar? Like, has that ever happened outside of like?
And why is she doing that? No.
Yeah.
My uncle had this really embarrassing comedy rock album I've talked about before because I played on it when I was 16. And one of the singles from it is it's like a country song. And it's like, there's lipstick on your dipstick. And I don't need a mystic to know that you've been sleeping around.
Okay.
Your underwear has been plundered. I can't remember the rest, but that's trauma right there for me.
Now I love
unearth
it.
that.
He's like, all right, come on. Let's do it. Let's make some music. Let's make some miracles happen.
Well, Rebecca, I think you've proven that you're an expert.
Yeah.
You're a music expert.
Me?
A little old girl. I can't believe
You're
a girl is telling
who's allowed to talk about music on podcasts now. Congratulations!
It's so interesting. Thank you so much, and thank you for giving me this platform. And the platform must be handed down by the men. Kinda, yeah. No, yeah. Or no platforms, and we all are standing on the street on the same level. And where are we going? I don't know. Because I couldn't come up with something to say. I really thought I would find it, and then I didn't.
It felt like you were
taking it.
That's okay. Yeah, right. In conclusion, cheating is bad, and I'll probably if I got cheated on, maybe I would write the song. Maybe today. I don't know. And that is the sign of someone truly deeply insecure, and that's why I can't fault him. He's being so mad.
This episode is so long at this point that I really am trying to wrap it up. But why is he saying he's noticing the lipstick on someone else's collar? How does he know that it's her lipstick? That's what I don't understand.
He knows
distinct shade.
He knows her shade?
Yeah. It's like he knows her scent, which is a myth. Definitely no one is like, oh, yes, it's her lipstick. It's cherry blossom. And her scent is... Pussy by Dior. Yeah, that's fake. That's just from movies. So he made that up for sure.
Come on.
Yeah, very interesting. And why is he looking at men's collars so much? Gay. I made a gay joke. It's okay. No, I feel like that reminded me of something. It's fine, whatever. I just love talking to you guys.
It's great. We should do this all day, every day. But Rebecca,
oh no, I remember what I was going to say. That
go for it.
I just, in case you guys didn't talk about it in your portion,
we probably did.
Fight Club music video. You did?
Oh, the music video.
We talked a bit about it. Yeah. But please.
Okay.
We mostly talked about it yesterday in the deleted files.
The music video was way more yesterday.
Well, I mean, I just think it just makes absolute sense that the guy who was obsessed with Fight Club made this song and then made a video doing Fight Club. And I do think it's a disgusting, beautiful time capsule of the moment, of talk. It's going to be in the history of toxic masculinity, and here was a moment when Taking Back Sunday did a song about his girlfriend cheated on him and he wanted to fucking kill himself. And the music video is Fight Club. Yeah. That is everything you need to know about this time and place.
It's true.
And that rocks.
It's beautiful. Now that's poetry. That is poetry.
And that is
like a mashup of Fight Club and American Psycho or something,
and American Beauty.
Exactly.
Misunderstood, misanthropic films of the late 90s, early 2000s.
Right. And it all makes sense to me. And nothing is better when that's utmost honesty that they did a Fight Club video. It's like, yeah, this is you guys, and thank you. Okay, you're allowed to wrap up your show.
Okay,
now.
Well, Rebecca, where should people find you other than wandering around Bed-Stuy looking for you and trying to find you?
And the thing is that they probably could. I guess I'm on Twitter again.
Yes.
Almond Milk Hotel. Sometimes I'm throwing out a thought here and there. Don't follow me on Instagram. That's a hell place. Twitter. There will be, when's this coming out?
In a couple hours.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Woo. Stay tuned for something I might be embarrassed about, and perhaps canceled. No, I don't know.
Your appearance on this show?
Work.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, it's this. I did some voiceover work for a podcast called Operator that's about the biggest phone sex company in the 90s. So if you've ever wanted to hear me as a dominatrix and etc. If you ever want to hear me doing phone sex and a very last minute thrown together Miami accent, which is natural to me sometimes when I'm there. Then stay tuned for that. It's very interesting, and that I don't know what else to say. I play a phone sex operator in Miami in the 90s, and I do the stuff. So that's that. And I'm doing 2 big thumbs up because I definitely feel great about it. Listen, I did this in 2019. So can you imagine? Can you imagine recording a phone sex podcast in 2019 and now it's now? And like in the life I've had and now it's coming out. What do I do with that? I don't know.
That's amazing.
But literally give me voiceover jobs and I want to be paid money for art. And I did another thumbs up.
So now that that's done, should we check out covers?
I think we should seamlessly transition into checking out these covers, Josiah.
Do you have to pee? I actually don't have to pee.
I don't have to pee. Let's fucking go.
I've been retaining
Honestly,
all my juices out of fear.
Yeah, that's it. I definitely have fear body. Like I'm in full fight or flight right now.
Sam,
so I evacuated my bowels the second that we started recording in an attempt to run faster.
The infamous cover section that may or may not mark a steep decline in listeners of the episode, but is actually amazing and one of the best parts, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it is coming to an end at the end of November. There's only a couple of these left before our profoundly stupid December plans, and then our 2022, which is a whole new world. To quote
a whole new world,
Lil Merm. Lil Aaron. How about Lil Aaron? How about Lil Mermaid? A whole new world.
That's good. Lil Merm is actually a pretty sick name, though.
It's good.
Someone should take that.
I'm sure that hopefully next week for what we do next week, that'll happen.
Next week's song is going to be great.
So patreon.com/155pod. Put a bunch of money in there just to keep us going because we're really struggling over here. We're doing these episodes twice now. It's that's it. I mean,
twice you get the double shot podcast.
We're fully vaxxed this week with ideas.
That's right. That's right. The problem is we got AstraZeneca for the second shot, maybe the first shot was AstraZeneca. Listen, I'm going to say it. All of these covers come from our Patreon gatekeepers, and they were all made in less than 72 or 96 hours. For $5 a month, you, for the next couple of weeks, get the early tip on next week's songs, plus bonus episodes, not this week, of course, next week when we've emotionally recovered from the trauma of losing this week's episode. You get early episodes. Again, that is true as long as we can record them in time and we don't keep losing them. You get a newsletter, which does rock, and the Discord that we talk so much about. All of these songs will be available in full on the One Tree Drive Bandcamp on Monday. Wow, that's amazing. And we are down to the last 2 weeks of cover sections, right? We got one more after this?
There's
I'm afraid to click through and look at a calendar.
After my pick, there's one more. There's one to rule them all. We got to decide something fucking epic for the end, and then there is something for December. If you're in the Discord, you'll find out about it. I think probably around the 17th, you'll find out about it. So keep an eye out. Keep your eyes peeled. This first one is by Special Edition. Cute without the E. Cute from the team. Looks like you got a big old typo there, buds. This is mix number 2. It's 7.5 minutes long, but they want us to start 7 seconds in. But there is some supplementary illustration, so I'm going to click to that window after, just to warn everyone. There will be some clicking on the computer, so hopefully we survive this.
I know exactly what goes on.
I mean, this is really confusing. I can see that it's Caleb, Yorba, Ned, and Sam, which is pretty tight.
Yeah, I don't understand. I feel like it stopped playing too.
It did stop playing somehow.
Which is concerning.
Maybe it's a cropped file. Well, I mean, we heard a little bit of it, so that's cool.
We did.
I can reload this. It's okay. We still got the recording going on.
Your lipstick is colored, don't bother, angel. I know exactly what goes on.
Ooh, there's lots of nudes in here already.
Ooh.
Delicious nudes. So does this map make sense? Is it speeding up? What is happening with all these arrows?
Yeah, I don't know. Again, this is looking like math to me, so I'm not really interested. This fucking rocks.
This is
don't want to be
so
looking at a chart.
Sick. Well, that's better than the original. That rocked. Thank you, special edition. Up next is Triple X TBS fan Triple X. This person fucking loves the movie Orcas, apparently, on the Superstation.
Oh, there we go.
TBS fan. Here we go.
A fellow Orcas fan.
Kind of Modest Mousey, to be honest. Maybe Modest Mouse was my... Okay, now it's getting into some nudes. Maybe the answer for my, like, incel feeling sorry for myself music was Modest Mouse, really.
Oh, yeah. But even they were, like, singing about Bukowski, who I know is, But it was, like, too intellectual.
I was too cool for them at that point, but I see what you're saying.
Okay. You see what I'm saying? You did not need to emphasize it in that way.
Forever, my Frasier.
Saying
Marriage without the age.
Podcast.
Tell that Maris she just made my list of things to do today. So this is the Frasier one. I've never seen this show. So here we go. 2 minutes 42 into
The
it.
best. Just hope that nothing happens. 1,000 clever lines.
If we had already recorded the covers section and lost the pod, I don't think we would have. I think we would have just ended the whole show, probably.
Yeah, that would have been the end of 155 for sure.
Hoping for the best. Just hope that nothing happens.
This is sick, though. Like, I appreciate experiencing Frasier through this method.
Yeah, also, I think that's like, I just had to Google it. That's like kind of a Fall Out Boy reference as well. They have a song called Tell That Mick He Just Made My List of Things to Do Today.
Man, the long song titles got annoying so fast.
You don't ever tell me.
I want someone to bring it back.
That was sick. Very good. Thank you, Frasier. Thank you, what's that guy's name? Who's Frasier? What's that?
Oh, Kelsey Grammer. Noted Hollywood conservative Kelsey Grammer.
Thank you, Kelsey Grammer. Sideshow Bob for submitting that. I assume that's actually you. Gaba Ghoul. Kind of a leftover Halloween name. Cute without the E. You've just been gabagooled. Oh, Marone. We got Gabba, who's Shawn Mendes' lawyer's best friend doing the vocals. Mamma Mia and the Ghoul, Golden Umbrella Stands, doing the music. I don't know how to say these last Italian words. I feel like I'm going to get I don't think it's possible to be racist against Italians, but I'm scared to try. So
you know what they think it is, though.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful.
Whoa. This is very strange.
Fucking awesome. I feel like I'm listening to it through a wall. Like I feel like I'm trying to get a hit of the show.
It sounds like one of those Neighborhoods Tom DeLonge songs where he's trying to bring back the riffing, but then it like sounds like a 1991 demo of that. I love when I don't know the song, really. It feels nice to just kind of...
I mean, I guess I feel that way sometimes when you pick stuff, but also like a song that I know so fucking intimately is also kind of a treat to hear as well. There's just no way to lose, you know?
There really is, although we will be losing soon when we get rid of this section. And the pod will only be 45 minutes long, so that if we fuck it up, it's not too bad.
It's no longer as devastating.
Up next is Crack Max DeMarco. So this is a Portman 3. Freaking Portman Bridge with all the Western Canada stuff going on. Crack Max is the name of like it's like a imagine like the worst
like
Alberta
problematic.
Yeah, imagine
something.
the worst Alberta accent making fun of people struggling with addictions who hang out outside of a Max. And then that's the name, like the locals call this one Max Croc Max. And then this guy started a Twitter where he like films like unhoused people fighting and put it on Twitter. But then eventually, like because Calgary was so lacking in somebody to just be the first one to make a website. He ended up being the guy who like does all the contesting and stuff for the city. So
it's so great.
Yeah, it's like so. I'm blocked by Crackmax on multiple accounts, but so this is combining that with Mac DeMarco, and this is Long Beans and Dottie Be Good teaming up. We're gonna start 35 seconds in. Let's go. Ooh, this is so nice.
These are very sweet hours right now.
It's not really sleazy enough to be Crackmax or DeMarco, but I hear the tones, but they're delightful.
It doesn't make me feel like I'm on Twitter watching a video I shouldn't be watching. This reminds me of like We Have the Facts era of Death Cab.
Yeah, totally. That's how pretentious I am. That's the last one after We Have the Facts, I was like, they're lame. Death Cab. I didn't listen to anything after that. So
I mean, I still listen to and love some Death, but that's the Death Cab album. Let's be honest.
People like, I think, Photo Album or Transatlanticism. I never heard that shit.
No, those are the wrong answers.
That was sick. You've made me say Crackmax so many times, so that wasn't sick, but amazing cover.
Thank you for letting us remember the good Death Cab album.
Ernest Them, Terminal C Ute without Terminal E, live from George Bush Intercontinental Airport. It's everyone's favorite goth cow they, Ernest Them. I rode the interterminal subway while I was waiting for security to open Friday morning, and here's what happened. Some real in situ shit going on.
Yeah.
Kind of weird to endorse George Bush on here, but...
Well, that is an official endorsement. From all of us.
What's this song? Is this the George Bush song?
Yeah, I don't know. Is this like what was playing in the terminal, maybe?
Your lipstick, his collar. Don't bother, Angel. I know exactly what goes on. When everything you'll get is everything that you've wanted, princess, well, which would you
This is
prefer?
delightful.
My finger on the trigger or me face down, dead across your floor? Well, just so long as this thing's loaded. And will you tell all your friends you've got your gun to my head?
That rules.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
I don't want to look. I don't want to know. I can't look up where George Bush Intercontinental Airport is, but I mean,
I believe it's in Houston.
Sounds like a great facility, really, based on the audio of it. Up next is Strings. Had trouble finding a direction for this one, but the lyrics have strong SoundCloud rap energy to me. So that's what I landed on. See, the thing that I said yesterday that we'll all remember and love is that to me the lipstick thing at the start does sound a lot like Hinder to me. Like,
oh yeah, I think we talked about Hinder quite extensively. To be honest, I actually think I brought up Hinder first.
You did, and then but then I thought you were bringing it. I thought you were bringing it up because of the transpose
opportunities.
But, yeah, maybe. Anyways, here's a SoundCloud rap version of it. Just like the Lil Aaron song that Sam so graciously found for us.
Don't forget it was 1 minute 55 seconds too.
When everything you'll get is everything you've wanted.
Oh.
So which would you prefer?
Yes.
On the trigger.
This is fucking awesome.
Down across your floor. Face down, dead across your floor. Face down, dead.
It's like tiny bit Post Malone, but thankfully it's more Drain Gang, and it's sick as hell.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my god. That is so sick.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Holy shit.
That's great. That makes me want to, like, you know, start listening to SoundCloud rap on SoundCloud again. You know, like what else am I missing?
Yeah, no kidding. Seems like something's happening with the guy recording our the backup recording. Something happened. So that's kind of cool.
Now recording.
He's in here now.
Okay, welcome back, Craig, the Discord bot. Fuck. If we lose this episode, we're not doing it again. I think that's it, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Okay. How's GarageBand looking?
I mean, it's looking great. I got one big fat bar of audio with both of us talking. Howard Rochefort, Wishful Thinking. Starting 29 seconds in. Here we go.
Tell all your friends. Got your gun to my...
Like, see, that's the thing. In 2002, I was definitely also listening to Brave New Waves all the time. So I could have, if they played Taking Back Sunday on Brave New Waves, I would have been tricked into liking it for sure.
That's too bad. It's a missed opportunity for Brave New Waves for sure.
Way to go, Patty Schmidt. You fucked up. Yeah, that was amazing. Thank you, Howard Rochefort. I've never seen that name before, but maybe who knows? We don't need to get to know these people in the cover section anymore. They're basically out the door. Who gives a shit about them?
We're already on our way out for cigarettes at this point.
I'm next is Cranberry Fairies. Cut without de zomph. Rest in peace, Dolores. Hard agree on that one. One of the all-time greats. Here we go. We should have done this song.
Yeah, well, it's not too late.
That's true. Or are we going to just get to hear the whole intro with no Taking Back Sunday vocals? Perfect. That's all we need. That's so sick.
I mean, fuck yes.
That's perfect.
Oh, I cannot wait to hear all these on Monday.
That's so good. Okay. Poli-Sci Alex, cute without the E, cut from the team. I mean, there's a really sweet message here. We appreciate it, Alex. I feel like it's a lot, but well, whatever. Let's read it. Time to get earnest. This may be my last cover I submit before the section is put on hiatus. Doing the covers has been a perfect way for me to track the second year of being a dad of two. I have vivid memories of sitting up at 2 a.m. in my daughter's room because she couldn't sleep alone, trying to work out all the vocal tracks for my cover of Am I Punk Yet, or the joy on my son's face when he got to say fuck in our cover of LG Fuad, or sending files back and forth to Buttermuffin to work out our jar cover. It's been an amazing experience getting creative again. This song is a perfect choice for me to just lay it all out. No parody, no trolling, no humor. Just me belting out a song that got me through my rocky adolescence. I love the pod. I love the Naish. I love Sam. I love Josiah. Mwah. That's nice. Oh, and he skipped ahead. He wanted us to start at the. Is this the bridge? The famous bridge?
This is the famous bridge. Yeah. Last night we talked about some bridge memes. No need to repeat ourselves.
I feel like Poli-Sci Alex is doing some dashboard strumming a little bit.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Just need to keep you in mind as something larger than life. I stay resting, jealous for this simple reason. I
So that's great.
It's God's own perfect bridge.
He's nailing it. He's nailing the tone.
Yeah, totally.
We finally get an earnest Poli-Sci Alex.
Yes.
Wow.
Fuck yeah.
That was beautiful. Maybe it's also because you said, maybe if every song said I love Josiah before in the liner notes.
Right. It definitely put you in the right headspace to receive it.
It definitely helps when I know that I'm loved. Okay, up next is, speaking of cute, a little baby boy is cute.
Where?
Give him a little spanking when he comes out of the womb.
Your lipstick is colored on Baba Angel. I know exactly what goes on. And everything you get is everything that you want. It's that you prefer. Finger on the trigger, boy. Me face down across your floor. Me face down across your floor. Me face down across your floor. As long as this seems low, yeah, will you tell your friend you got your gun to my head? This all was only wishful thinking. This all was only wishful thinking. And will you tell your friend you got your gun to my head? This all was only wishful thinking. This all was only wishful thinking. Don't bother trying to explain it.
I mean, that's just cooking, really.
I
That's
mean,
just fucking
ooh.
cooking, baby.
Like, take that out of the oven. It's hot.
It's
cooked. It's cooked.
That was so
That was
sick.
fucking awesome.
My baby boy. I can't wait to, and I hope
What a
that
talented baby.
when Baby Tyler inevitably does, make another solo LP with all this free time, I really do hope it says I love Josiah in the liner notes. It's probably my only criticism of it.
Right. I think that's fair. I think that criticism basically applies to everyone except Poli-Sci Alex.
Exactly. Poli-Sci Alex finally won me over today. We've had our own rocky adolescence together, but you know what? You're good, bud. Up next, Greenlaw, Brooks, and Robinson, Q without the E. So this Greenlaw, Brooks, and Robinson is a super group, of course, featuring Holly, Simon, Ryan, Shoes, and Moon. And we're starting 3 minutes into this epic 5.5 minute composition. Yes.
Fuck. Yes.
Beautiful. That was amazing.
Yeah.
This song,
yeah.
This song is so good. I don't know why you were shit talking it so much yesterday and today.
It's taken me a while to come around to it, but I think you have a point, Josiah. It's actually rocks.
Up next is Sue Thing and Fish Tricks. Cute without the E. That's funny. That's great. Here we go.
Will you tell all your friends you got your gun? This all was only wishful thinking.
This rocks.
Hi, Bobby and Tessa. We're having fun in here.
Sounds like crooked fingers.
It almost sounds like it doesn't sound like it, but it has the same wonderful feeling as Brand Van 3000.
Yeah, totally. Sounds like Willard.
That's so cool. Fish Tricks have been pulling out some new. This old fish got some new tricks recently. I think Fish Tricks really at the tail end. Another fish. I think fish have tails. Kind of be another pun. That's amazing.
I think they definitely do. That's really good stuff.
Thank you so much. Make Believe says it literally is Sunday. Haven't posted cover Haven't posted cover since Green Day. Life is really wild. There's no time for music right now, but this song band was a big deal to me. And the cover era of the pod is almost over, so I had to do it. Recorded me singing and playing the song with an unplugged electric guitar into my microphone, and then spent an hour running it through a couple shitty auto-tunes and manglers. It sucks, but it's also kind of cool. Long live 155. Yeah. So why do you think that you would say the sentence, it sucks, but it's also kind of cool, and then immediately think of us after that? It's kind of
interesting. Best to not unpack that too deeply, especially after this episode.
Oh, Dave Matthews Band. Oh, this sounds so cool.
When everything you get is everything that you want, will which would you prefer? Your finger on the trigger or be placed down across your floor?
This is so good.
This is fucking awesome.
Fuck, I can't believe I like this song now. That's so cool.
Yeah, this is fucking... I want to hear that whole thing.
That was amazing. Up next, Bog and Friends, cute without the E. This was a huge jam for us in high school, so I recruited some old friends. Thanks always to DRMC for the bass, and thanks to Jace, Vance, Vicky, and Mark. I mean, those sound like fictional characters from sort of a 1950s teen group of friends, but I hope that either way, fictional or not.
That's some TBS Superstation kind of
Absolutely.
names,
It sounds like the damn cast of the movie Orcas on TBS. Here we go.
Hoping for the best, just hoping nothing happens. So many clever lines and red and clever napkins. I will never ask, you will never tell. I know you well enough to know. Hoping for the best, just hoping nothing happens. Lines and red and napkins. I will never ask, you will never tell. I know you well enough to know. Larger than my last.
Hell yeah, this rules. You can't be. We don't pay enough attention to the fact that DRMC, the like epithet guy, is lending bass to these Bog slowcore Twinkle covers all the time. That's pretty sick. Like that's pretty cool teamwork there. To hear that,
this is finally going to be the podcast that heals the divides in America
between epithet and
slowcore.
Yeah. That was really sick.
You're all welcome.
Shout out to Jace, Vance, and
awesome.
Vicky and Mark too. And you deserve a malted shake for that. What you've done there, that was amazing. Okay, up next, the return of Mysterious They Hardcore has not been around for a while.
Oh my god, it's been a long time.
Finally, Mysterious They Hardcore writes, "It's been a while. Weekends got busy post curfew life. God, these lyrics are horrible."
Not true.
We're trying to have a nice time here, okay? We've done this episode twice.
No need for commentary.
You just have to do the episode twice, and then you'll like it, okay? Here we go.
Exactly. We've got to encourage everyone to follow our example.
Hell yeah. That's way better than the original.
Fucking right.
Now I hate Taking Back Sunday again. Things are correcting themselves.
No, but you know what? If you hate the lyrics, how come they were so sick in that context? So I would say this is in fact proven my point that the song rocks.
I've been destroyed by logic. Fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Facts and logic. Nothing wrong with that.
Up next, Althea Later and the Later Day Saints. This is Baby Tyler, Bunkerton, BW, Ernest, them, Gosh Dang, Rock's House, Shawn Mendes, the Lawyer's Best Friend, and Tender Hell with Althea Later. I hate that I know what that means is kind of a funny thing you could say about that sentence.
Right.
Also, Althea Later, spelled with an 8 at the end, .bandcamp.com. She put out a compilation of Yeah Yeah Yeah's covers with a whole bunch of people from the 155 Nation. So if somehow you're like, I need even more of this, and also I want it to be about the Yeah Yeah Yeahs because these guys keep saying no too much to everything, then check that out because it goes to Phoenix area bail funds, and also happy belated birthday, Althea. I mean, this is just basically a cameo at this point that we're doing. So, here we go.
Okay, now the song, the song is just gonna like go into a new location, uncharted terrain, new location, and never return from whence it came. No.
I mean, this is sick. This is some Brave New Wave shit.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Well, now it's like some Pentatonics shit, too. You know, Mitch from Pentatonics has an Aphex Twin tattoo, so it does kind of make sense.
Is that real?
Yeah.
I will never ask if you don't want to tell me. I know you well enough to know you never loved me. Hoping for the best, just hoping nothing happens. A thousand clever lines unread, clever napkins. I will never ask.
That's so cool. So wait, did they talk about napkins in this song? I don't think we talked about that yesterday.
1,000 clever lines unread on clever napkins. I think. I mean, I'm just doing it off the dome.
The napkins themselves are clever. I guess it's true. I mean, it serves. It's functional at least. That's clever in a way.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like I truly have never thought about these lyrics. I've just screamed them.
Well, thank you for not screaming the Later Days Saints. That was really sick and tasteful and cool. Next, Wood Chips, Key Without the E, cut from the team. One of my favorite songs of all time from an album that completely changed my life. I was obsessed with this band when I was 17. I still adore their first 3 records. Can't wait to listen to Joe's Hate on it. Well, you know what? I've done it twice now. It's been 2 days in a row of this. So, I mean, you had to be there yesterday, I guess. But
yeah, that's it. I like that there really was a private pod just for me and just for you.
Yeah, like, see, we got to reframe how we look at it.
Because I'm your private podcast. Podcast for money. Sorry, let's see.
Instead of carrying this painful weight around our necks, it's across the bear of 45 minutes of missed audio. This is sick as hell. You telling me someone who liked Taking Back Sunday made something like this?
Everything you'll get is everything that you wanted, princess.
Oh yeah, they say princess in this song. That's a bit much too.
Yeah,
princess and napkins. She's the napkin princess. Sick. Love it. Love the pianos. I wonder if there was a MIDI of this or if that was like full on. I feel like Wood Chips brings the good clips. So he probably made that from scratch. Birthday Pony, Empty Folder. Please do not talk to me about empty folders right now. Cute Without the E. Produced by JKD Stay Free. Shout out to this dude JKD Stay Free for posting his drum loops for free on you. Yeah, hell yeah! Shout out JKD Stay Free. Absolutely, this is your show now,
JKD
bro.
JKD Stay Free. Yeah.
JKD Stay Free. Okay, so we're gonna start 121 minutes. Shout out to JKD Stay Free. Ooh. Let's go. Some sort of vibey Everlast / Hayden guitars.
Yeah. A little more Buck 65.
Buck 65 is so awful. I can't believe
is good.
I can't believe we as a nation fell for that. I was walking down the street Walking down Bloor with my hand in my pocket.
Yo, is that Buck 65 on the pod?
It's like Tom Waits trying to be the worst version of Beck is incredibly awful.
The best thing about Buck 65 is I think he's like soft canceled, but like for writing
For
a
being
sort
annoying.
of half fictional memoir, for being annoying, for writing like a half fictional memoir in which he wrote about, I think, himself being like sexually assaulted by like a KGB officer or something, like a sexy lady KGB officer, and everyone was like, "Wait, did this really happen?" And he's like, "You'll never know. I have no idea if this is true." Like I'm, but like there's some, I have this like half memory of.
I feel like Buck 65, you could tell me that he like started a speakeasy in the back of a Second Cup in Toronto where they do poetry readings, and I would believe you. That feels.
Is that are you joking?
Thank you, Jake and D. Stay Free on Birthday Pony and D. Folder. Why not? It's Sundays up next, and whoever this is says this cover did not go well for me. Well, we're all having a bad week, so that's fine. Let's just get through this together.
Yeah, look, we're all in this one together.
Sounds good so far. Some thin kind of Brian Eno U2 pianos.
Oh yeah, shout it out.
This is cool. This is sick as hell. What are you talking about? I feel like this could play in like Act 3 of Safdie Brothers' Good Time. That rules.
That was fucking awesome. Sorry, I'm also reading about the complicated Buck 65 allegations, but I'll be able to offer a summary shortly.
Okay, great. Yeah, because I mean, libel laws in Canada are a little bit more strict than
Exactly.
America, so
No,
I got to make sure he
clarify what I
is
said
truly
earlier.
soft canceled.
Although, to be honest, I was very close to correct on this incredibly stupid story that I'm going to share shortly.
Late era Dr. Bugman is here with the backyard version of Q without the E. Let's go. Dr. Bugman, always with the... Such a great voice.
This is fucking awesome.
We need that Dr. Bugman Jaguar LP. That's so sick. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome. This really is going to be like a great one to listen to in its entirety.
Yeah, I mean, also when
They all are, but
when we do the episode a third time, it's going to be so sick. Unentitled.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Unentitled cut. Let's go. This has some real Munch Music video dance party vibes.
Yeah, this is full like Prozac. Oh, this is fucking awesome.
This is so sick.
Oh, fuck.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
oh
that
my
rocks.
God. So sick. I can't believe we've been doing this every week and it's always this good. It's ridiculous.
I know, it is shocking. And there was like, that's enough.
And that when I
want any more
write,
of
and that
this.
when I write publications that would want to cover this, normally they say, we don't really cover podcasts. And I'm like, you don't get it.
You don't understand. This is so much more than a podcast.
It's a lifestyle. CT's Trapeze Dreams, cut from the team, Q without the E. First time, long time. Didn't have time to do vocals or the back half of the song. But I wanted to at least get it in one cover. Let's go. Absolutely.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, I like this vibe.
Rockin'.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, yeah.
This rules.
Oh, this is fucking awesome.
This almost has. We talked about Piebald a lot yesterday, too.
Oh,
You can hear a bit of
totally,
Piebald in this. Whoa.
This is fucking sick.
I feel like someone that had like such strong, powerful, like modern emo energy in a good way, but I feel like it also could be without the vocals. Someone could do a sick as hell vocal audition on top of that and put it on YouTube. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, totally.
BW, why can't I feel anything from anyone other than you? Is that from the song? I don't even know where I am at this point.
That's part of the many vocals in the chorus.
See, everything just sounds better when it's lo-fi and stripped down.
But you gotta have the big to get the little.
Seems like a sex thing. What isn't? That's so cool. Shout out
Yeah, that was
BW.
fucking awesome.
More like BMW.
Again, I feel like I am the biggest fan of these things that are like the extra poppy me songs that then get sort of reduced into like Josiah songs.
Yeah, I mean that's really no wonder it's such a niche thing. It's really just for two guys.
Why is this not more popular?
That was sick as hell though. Okay, Seamus, what do you got going on here? POV, you're driving on the northern state to your friend's place in Hicksville, probably going to a diner later. North Shore to South Shore is what it says. So that's what this one is.
Your lipstick is calling, don't bother, Angel. I know exactly what goes on.
Yeah.
Merge. Jesus. When everything you'll get is everything that you wanted, well, which would you? Oh, Jesus Christ. Got my fucking ass. I'm going 70. What do you want from me? Jesus. Fuck you. Yeah, go around. Go around. God damn. Jesus Christ.
Great little sketch.
Yeah, this is
only wishful thinking. And
so true to life.
Tell all your friends you've got your gun to. Oh, this is such a. What a dipshit. Jesus Christ. Fuck off.
I was worried I would
good.
need to
That was
know about driving on the northern state, but I think I understand.
I feel like there's something relatable to it. You've driven on the northern state before, you know. I think yourself, just not literally, you know.
Absolutely. Okay, Gosh Dang says, tell all your friends and Where You Want to Be were both huge albums for me growing up, but unfortunately I think Taking Back Sunday kind of suffers from a little bit of early Weezer syndrome. So I decided to lean into that with this cover and make it as uncomfortable as I was willing to make it. So maybe is this going to reference other TBS Superstation songs?
Yeah, so early Weezer syndrome being like that.
People only like those two ones. They're not.
Yeah, but then like wiser people love the new stuff. Like I'm curious what.
That's making me want to like the new Taking Back Sunday only.
Right, you're going to become a big Tidal Wave fan.
Hi, baby girl. Everything's okay, I promise.
Oh, it's the Brianna video.
It's okay, don't worry about it.
So this is not. I think this is just uncomfortable in a more general kind of cringe sentence rather than.
Okay.
But it just sounds normal to me at this point.
No, I'm not uncomfortable.
This is what recording Global feels like. Look at that too, yeah.
Down across your floor. Face down, dead across your floor. Face down across your floor. Just so long as this thing's loaded. And will you tell?
That sounds like Ultra Nevo or something, like some PBR&B shit that I used to listen to. That wasn't cringy at all. It was sick.
No, that was fucking awesome.
Finally shared with us 40 minutes after it was announced. I mean, that's crazy. That's scary, honestly.
That's efficient. I respect that. I respect efficiency.
Shawn Mendes' lawyer's best friend, cute without the E, real amp for the first time. Taking it out for a spin, I guess. Here we go.
Ooh, that buzz.
Real amp, fake drums, maybe?
That's a band, right?
See, when real amp, I was thinking it's going to be guitar, but it sounds like it's a damn bass guitar on here.
Goddamn bass. I mean, this vibe is fucking sick.
Yeah, it's great. So sick.
And that was, I fucking hope that was cute with the cut from the team. Oh!